Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good evening, lovely people. I hope you're all well on this sunny, lovely day. And we are back with another Monday Night Live. Drifter will be joining us shortly. Man like Matt's here. My name's Callum. We are Kop-Ish. Hope you're all well, people. Matt, how you doing today, bro?
I'm all right, you know. Listen, we've had no Premier League football, no injuries, so to speak. Like I don't want to jinx it, but so far from internationals, I don't think there's been anything significant. You know, we've got some big news. What?
Oh, it's news. I didn't hear of anything today. Well, what's happened today?
I mean, from what I understand, Liverpool linked heavily with a centre back, bruv.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I think it's Ibrahim or something, or Ibrahim. Something like that, bro. Yeah.
Never even knew that was happening today.
Do you know what? I think he plays for, is it Leipzig or something like that? Leipzig or RB?
Oh. I mean,
something like that. Bro,
any good? Is he any good?
Bruh, 21.
Oh.
6'4".
Oh,
athletic.
Can drink in America at 21.
Yeah.
Say about Virgil. Say about Virgil.
A little bit shorter than LeBron.
Oh, LeBron? LeBron? Okay.
Yeah, LeBron. Only 6'4".
Okay.
6'4".
What y'all telling me now? He 6'4". He tall as Virgil, right? So that means he's gonna be good in the air. He can dunk.
He can dunk.
I mean, let me ask y'all a question, because I keep on hearing Klopp talking about this. What is it called? This up the pitch line, is it? Because I already watch sport in America. What are they calling it now? Oh, you gotta have pace. You gotta have pace. The high line. That's right. That's right. You good for that?
I'll tell you something right now. If he's 6'4", that means he can do drills. That means he can do suicides. What they call it in America? Suicides? Something like that?
Them shuttle runs? Oh, word?
Shuttle runs. Yeah.
That sound all right.
And you say we call it bleep test. You can call it bleep test.
Bleep test? That's no the bleep. I know when they swearing on the telly. Okay. that sound all right. So so let me get this right. He played for this German team. He's 6'4", athletic.
Yeah. 6'4". I don't know. You know in the NBA they do the whole wingspan thing. You know what I'm saying? Like 6'7" wingspan, something like that.
Okay. He got long arms. He
got hops. He can jump.
Oh, that's perfect. You know why that's good? Because that means we don't have to get goalkeeper well too. Got that wingspan. We just throw him in goal. This get bad. We just throw him in the net. All good, right? All good, right? Let me ask you another question, Matt. Well, I got you here right now. LeBron, hold on a minute. Get that steak on the barbecue, LeBron. I'm gonna be out soon. Let me ask you another question, then, Matt.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, does he pick up injuries?
I mean, he's at abductor. I mean, he's been out for a couple of months.
Abductor? That sounds like a Liam Neeson movie. Abductor, what that is? that sounds like a Liam Neeson movie. Abductor? What that is?
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Is that a couple of injuries? But FSG, they after a bug. They after a bug.
Okay. So you got the injuries. That gonna drive the price down, though, right? I'm all about the money, man.
That right.
I mean, look at me. I'm all about the money. Look what I got next. Be ready to spend for the transfer window. I got notes, baby. I got notes. What you want? You want?
If you can get all your groceries in Walmart, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
We're all good to go, man.
Give me some Cheetos and some Hershey's, and that is a good night for me. That is a good night for me. So what we talking about? How much he gonna cost? How much he gonna set you back? Because I ain't paying for it. You know that already. I ain't paying for it. You know that already.
Let's not go by the dollar. I mean, we're gonna go by euro. I mean, if it's by euro, I'm hearing 40 million euro, man. You know what I'm saying?
$40 million. Let me do a quick calculation off top of the hand. Oh,
you know, fun.
You sure that's not Sterling, right? Because that's Sterling be high. That's Sterling be high.
I'm saying
we don't like the Queen's money. Y'all be dealing with some different currency over there. Okay. So y'all telling me euros. Okay. The dollars, that's not too bad. Okay. And that's just one-off payment, right?
I don't know. We don't know about Marco Edwards.
So hold on a second.
Installments, man.
So hold on a second. Y'all saying that it's release clause, so that gotta be paid up front?
Listen, man. I don't know.
We may have a problem. But anyway, Matt, been love speaking to y'all. I'm gonna get this steak from LeBron. We gonna sit down, watch a couple of games on the baseball.
Barbecue.
But absolute pleasure, my brother. Absolute pleasure. We do this again sometime.
Anytime.
I'll speak to you. How about I speak to you again in September after the transfer window show? How about that? Superb. All right. Well, you mind how you go now?
Take care, my brother.
Nothing like a Kopish show.
Listen. brother. We're not enough. Do you know what? This is the news that everyone I think's been waiting for. Whether you think it's a good deal or a bad deal, it just shows apparently Liverpool are active in the transfer market. That is the big thing we're going to talk about today. Callum's going to get stuck into it. He's going to talk about where we're going today, because if I'm being real, people, when I woke up, I checked my phone and I said, yo, what's going on here?
A lot of messages.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm getting DMs and whatever, and I'm thinking, what's going on? So I checked it out and I'm like, okay, Liverpool look like they're trying to do something. And it's not just any source. We're talking from The Athletic. I know some people don't like The Athletic, some people do. But I'm going to be real. I do like David Ornstein. I think he's very creditable in my opinion.
He is.
Again, no journalist is perfect, but for me, he's very creditable. And I like to think what he says is he knows his stuff, innit? So I'm going with this. And from what it looks like, Cal, I mean, you start it off, but it looks like Liverpool are serious about getting a centre-back. And it looks like he could be the big centre-back for this up-and-coming transfer window.
Indeed. So first and foremost, obviously, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about his injuries.
Yeah, of course.
And got a shout out to someone called Anna Woodbury on. She did an amazing Twitter thread. So if you haven't seen that already, go and check that out, people. It's Anna Woodbury, and she just broke it down basically about the different injuries. So what I do, I just quickly go through the thread. Just give me a sec. Dado one Grizz my Kopish boys said you were supposed to go over there for the quiz rematch, but failed to turn up. Tell me it's not true, my brothers. We put out a tweet, guys, addressing the Grizz stuff. We're working behind the scenes. We're working behind the scenes. Look. Do ninjas move around making a lot of noise? No, they don't do that.
They don't.
They move in silence. And what usually happens to the person that they're targeting? Yeah? Grizz, we're coming for you.
We're coming for you.
So no, we'll definitely be doing a rematch of the quiz.
100%. Yeah.
It's obviously an Arsenal game week. Yeah, but we Grizz knows we're coming for them.
He knows.
He knows. Him and Shawnee did brilliant first leg. They did brilliant. But we've seen Liverpool comebacks before. So surely Liverpool fans shouldn't be writing off another set.
We got beat 3-0 in Barca. Even myself.
3-0 down against AC Milan. 3-0 down against AC Milan.
We've seen it before.
Dortmund, we're down 3-1.
This is Kopish, you know.
We pull out the bag. We pull out the pull out the bag. We pull out the bag. That's what we do.
Man, a big timer out here, bro.
So let me read through this Twitter thread. Let me just get out.
Ibrahima Konate. Is it Ibrahim or Ibrahim? I know it's got an A at the end, didn't it?
Ibrahima, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's Ibrahima. No,
all right.
Boy, star.
So here we go. So
NFC gamer, you're not serious. Man said, has Drifty gone to Paddy Power to bet against Liverpool?
I don't know if he'll be doing that again anytime soon.
I don't think so. I don't think so, man.
I don't think so. So bear with me, guys. I've got so many Twitter notifications. I'm trying to find the one.
Yeah, no, calm. People in the chat as well. Just a quickly, while Callum's going through some stuff. Do you think? I know we're going to talk about the injury record, but just off the cuff, do you not think it will be a good signing or a bad signing? Just in the chat, type yes or no. I just want to see how many people think it's going to be a good signing and how many people don't think it'll be a good signing if we was to sign it. Just put yes or no, just so I can see the general consensus.
All right, here it is. So Anna's. So go. Make sure you follow Anna on Twitter. Anna Woodbury. So it's at Anna_Woodbury at Anna_Woodbury. So she basically just says that people have been sharing obviously his injury history from Transfermarkt, and what she's basically done is actually broken it down and actually researched into the injuries just to actually add some context. And again, something that a lot of things don't happen with stats is context. So she says when you look at those 5 injuries further, it becomes clear that 3 are relating to torn muscle fibers, which actually kept him sidelined for 1 year. This means he's only been sidelined with 3 injuries since moving to Leipzig in 2017. Okay. One is an insequential knock. The other is a very serious injury, which was the muscle fibers injury. And the other one was a 7-week ankle injury, which can happen to anyone. Yeah. It shows in the 17-18 season, he wasn't out. 18-19 barely out. Last season, so 19-20 was where he sustained the injury, and this season obviously he's been out quite a bit with the ankle injury. So again, it showed this is where it becomes difficult, because what is an injury prone player? I mean, there's so many different, and it's so subjective. I mean, we sit here and we say Harry Kane's an injury prone player, but when we went through his stats the other day, it's quite clear to see it's 1 injury per season. That doesn't necessarily constitute to be an injury prone player, whereas you look at someone like Ox, for example, not to bash on him. You look at him and you think, well, he gets different injuries every season. So this is where it becomes difficult. And then again, you look at someone like Neymar. Most people wouldn't associate Neymar being injury prone, whereas when we broke it down the other day, we saw he's injured a lot. So
do you know what? All right,
it's difficult.
This is how I will see it. He's had injuries. He's 21 years old. He's had a bad injury that I think has maybe reoccurred and also maybe, dare I say, led to other injuries, right? That's how I see it. He's 21. I'm going to stress again, he's 21 years of age. I reckon if you're Liverpool, you're looking at it thinking, okay, he's had his injury problems. He played the other day in the under-21s for France, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like he may have overcome them. Playing in England, maybe he might be put on a special regime. Who knows? A bit like that how Naby Keita was, obviously. Obviously, you cater for that individual. They're looking at it like he's a star in the making. He's 6'4", athletic, can play in the high line, dominant from what I've seen. And I knew about Ibrahim Konate for maybe about 2-3 years ago, because we've been linked with him for about 2-3 years. I'll say about 2-3 years. Not only this year, about 2-3 years, and I kept an eye on him, but obviously he hardly played. But the times he did play, I thought, this man kind of all right, you know. But obviously Upamecano used to play more. And
he was the big name.
He was a big name, and it kind of made you think, oh, maybe we're going for the wrong centre-back. But again, if you're 21 years of age and you look up the attributes that he has, that's why Liverpool are looking at him. That's the only, obviously they're looking at the injury record thinking, okay, this could become an issue, but they're also confident, I feel, that we can get this man on the right track. And let's be real, this is no slander when I say this. If you look at the attributes that he possesses, I would say in the system that we play, he probably fits better than Kabak. And even though they're only 1 year apart, I'm just talking about the attributes. We're going to get onto Kabak anyway, because, again, I feel like Kabak has really stepped up. And I kind of feel like Kabak needs to be spoken about in more depth, because I feel like the overall consensus on him is still not clear. And I want to make that clear about how I feel about Kabak. But again, going back to Konate, bro, I think it's as simple as this. He's a talent. He's a massive talent. And in football, from when you speak to other people in terms of in the game, whether that's someone or whoever, but they're saying they reckon Konate actually has a higher ceiling than Upamecano.
Yeah,
It's just that the injuries have really stopped him from being at that level that Upamecano is at now. So
yeah, I'll be honest. I've got to shout out two people. So, and hopefully they both see this. Hopefully they're both in the chat. See, one of them is, but John Sean and Kev O'Sullivan, they both put me onto Konate when we were linked with Upamecano for the first time. We're like, no, Konate is the one we should be after. And I was like, I'd seen Upamecano, and I was like, okay. And I started watching Konate more, and I was like, oh, I get it now. I fully get it now. I see why this is the one we should be actually going.
You know, he's
just better. He's just better. But again, the injuries in the last couple of years haven't helped him. A couple of people are saying he's been mismanaged. But you just put it into context. Aerial duels, he ranks one of the highest in Europe for aerial duels. I think he was in the top 3 or top 5 of fastest centre backs on the Europe, continent.
For the last couple of years as well. And he hasn't even played that much. So,
again, you got Archer's like he's got all the raw talent there.
He does.
He's just not been playing. And when you think about, all right, he's got great height. He's got great aerial presence. He's young. Yeah. He's quick. He can play in a high line, which means he can play in our system.
He's aggressive, but he's
aggressive, way. And he's a ball-playing centre-back as well.
Yes, he is.
You're pretty much reinventing Matip, just hoping you don't get the injuries. And then if you are, how much are we going to potentially pay? 40 million euros?
Yeah,
that is not a bad deal at all. 35 mil.
34 mil, I'm going to say. 34 mil.
That is a brilliant deal. If that gets over the line and he can stay injury-free, and no, do you know, I'm not going to say injury-free. He gets this normal amount of injuries that a footballer gets. Yeah. Then we're on to a winner here. We really are.
No, indeed.
I'm glad you mentioned about Kabak as well, because we are going to speak about the Kabak
situation.
Yeah,
definitely, because here's the thing. I think when you look at a player that's injury prone at a certain club, we automatically think as fans that he's most likely going to carry these injuries to our club. Sometimes it can just be circumstances, and it can be, because I'm going to be real. Up until when Ox came to Liverpool, if it wasn't for that bad injury sustained against Roma, and I feel like that's where it kind of started, that's where it picked up, I would have said that Ox might not have been injury prone for Liverpool. It was that one injury that kind of set off a catalogue of things, and I kind of feel like with Konate, maybe it's because we want him to do well so badly if we do sign him. It's one of those things where you just want that player to not be injury prone, so you're trying to think of the most positive things you can say about the player. But I generally feel like being at RB last week is one thing, being at Liverpool is another thing. And I know we've had bad injuries this season. There's no getting around that. And I'm hoping and praying that we don't go through that again. But I'd like to think maybe at his age, he was going through whatever problems he was going through. And Liverpool probably, and let's be real, people. I know we've had Matip, and I'd say Matip, maybe Ox, and maybe even Naby are the 3 players that you would say injuries have really, hurt Liverpool careers. But other than that, we've done our due diligence on every single player that we've signed. And I feel that we've looked at the type of injuries they've had. We've gone deep into the injury record. We probably spoke in depth about like how you progressed. And I think with Konate, I think he had an operation maybe last year to correct a hip. I think it's Davies' hip injury. And I think Liverpool would have done their due diligence. There's a reason why they stepped out of I'm not going to go too far into it, but the Fekir deal. I know it was to do with agents, and maybe it was agents and a bit of injury fear. I know Kyle might not agree, but I'm just saying. But I'm going to be real. I just think they do the due diligence, bro. We have to trust in Michael Edwards that they've looked at this thoroughly and they feel like, you know what? This is the guy that could potentially take us forward.
Yeah, indeed, Matt. Shout out to Finn. Go and subscribe to Welford TV if you haven't. Great young and up-and-coming YouTuber. Go and support him. Great young man. Go and support him, please, people. Gonna get through some of these super chats before we start speaking about Kabak and a few other things. Cool. Linked to this story. So the first one from 1975, Jamrock. It would be a good signing if they sign Kaleta too. We're going to speak about that. Timmy says Pogba missed more games since 1920, but isn't injury prone. Very interesting point. Very interesting point. ABM says, big up, guys. Love what you do. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That, man. It means a lot when people say that. You trust me. You understand.
Nisa Pongi If you lose the quiz again, you'll have to do a whole show in an Australian, New Zealand accent. No, jokes. Hope all is well, lads. Much love to you. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I can do an Australian
I
accent.
can't do an Aussie one. I
can
even
probably say a couple of words, but I couldn't carry out.
The only thing I could say is, and this is going to be really bad, people. Kangaroo. I can't even do it in Australia. Kangaroo. I can't. That's all I can say. Is kangaroo. And that's probably really bad.
My name's Callum, mate. That's. I'll be honest. If I'd butcher an Australian accent,
if I'm struggling to say kangaroo, that says everything.
Yeah. The Australian accent's one of the hardest ones. I'm okay at some of the other ones. A-Spec Limited says, if we were truly serious, we would get this deal done and back up with Botman, some Matip, let Kabak go back and keep Nat. All right, A-Spec. So now we're talking into the overall situation of the summer. Because it leads into it quite nicely.
Yes, it does.
So are we all in agreement here that it kind of looks like Matip's going to move on at the end of the season? And again, I want to reiterate and stress, nothing to do with his quality, nothing to do with his effort and his endeavor or when he plays. It's simply to do with his injuries and the fact that he may now want to play in a team less demanding of him.
Well,
do we think he will?
You can look at it in two ways. If the reports are to be believed that Liverpool are after two centre-backs, and Konate is the one we're heavily going for, you could maybe assume that Kabak is the other guy that we're going to make that deal permanent. So that's two centre-backs signed. In my opinion, going by looking at the situation, you would say Matip goes. Yeah?
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there. Can I ask you another question? Yeah, so Matip goes potentially, in your opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to mention another centre-back before we get to Kabak.
Yes.
Koulibaly's been linked very heavily with us.
He has.
All right. So now I'm going to take away Virgil, because Virgil's 29, almost 29 now.
Indeed.
So Virgil's our senior centre-back, right? And at the age as well. If Konate's 21, Joe Gomez is around 24, I'm guessing. And then if Matip goes, it will be Konate, Gomez, and then let's say we keep Kabak for argument's sake at 20 years old.
Yeah.
Do we need to go for a more experienced centre-back? And does that still mean Koulibaly is a target, or does Konate mean he's not, considering they're around the same price as well?
If you... so you're saying, putting Koulibaly into the equation?
Yeah, because if Matip goes and Konate comes in, I can't see us. I say I can't see us. I'd be quite surprised if we don't have another almost senior centre back there.
See, this is where I feel like this is where we could get blindsided.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Go on.
Matip is the one that will leave.
Yeah.
Konate comes in.
Yeah.
You get Kabak in on a permanent. So your four centre backs for the season.
Yeah.
Will be Van Dijk, Gomez, Konate, and Kabak.
And now Dini.
Absolutely. And now Dini. The other way you can look at it is this. This is another way that I didn't even think of. Klopp loves Matip, like he loves Matip. He's spoken at length and said, I love John Matip. Yes, he's had injuries, blah, 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 but I want him fit for pre-season. He's just been unfortunate. And we know Klopp is loyal. The other way you could look at it is this. Virgil, Joe Gomez, Matip stays, Konate comes in, you don't take up the option on Kabak, and you keep Phillips. There's two ways of looking at it. I'm just being real. I know our owners. I would love to put Koulibaly in that equation and to say we're going to go and sign Konate and Koulibaly, and Koulibaly will be the experienced one. But I have to be real. I don't see Liverpool spending 40 million euros on one centre-back at 21 years of age and then maybe spending, I don't know, another 40 to 50 on Koulibaly. I don't see it, because they're going to look at that and think, no, there's too much money in one department. Let's look at what we have and what we can do. And they will look at that, in my opinion, and think, buy Konate for £34 million, You sign Kabak on a permanent for 18. That's your centre-back position sorted. And then you move on to midfield for Gino Wijnaldum's replacement, and then potentially a wide forward or a striker. That's how I'm looking at it. I just don't see Liverpool going, we're going to spend, for argument's sake, 70 to 80 million pounds on 2 centre-backs combined. I don't see it personally. That's just me.
So you're basically saying if I was to say we could get a Varane or a Koulibaly as well as Konate, FSG would.
No, you got me off guard with that. I'm not gonna lie. My days.
So you're basically shutting the whole thing down. Because I'll be real with you. If we were to get Konate, and again, I know people are going to think I'm being harsh, but I'm going to be kind of ruthless when I say this as well.
Yeah.
If we get Konate, that to me should kind of suggest we don't get Kabak, and we do go and get an experienced centre back.
See, that's my scenario that I would like us to do.
And we still get rid of, and we still have to move Matip on as well.
Bro, all right, let's be real. Your scenario is what all of us want, but I don't see it happening. And to be fair, not to say all of us, because I think some people feel like Kabak has earned his way at least to be in the rotation. Some people think Kabak has, made an impression to the point where he should have a Liverpool career. And I'm not saying he should or shouldn't, but in my personal ideal scenario, if you're Liverpool and you want to be the best, you go and get Konate and you go and get Varane. Or for drift's sake, you go get Koulibaly. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's how I see it. It's that simple. But we know we're not going to do that. That's the honest shit. We're not going to. And I said Liverpool aren't going to spend 80 million or 90 or whatever on combined 2 centre backs. We're just not going to do that. If we were Man City, we could sit there comfortably and go, yeah, we're going to do that. Look what they did last season. They bought freaking Ruben Diaz and Nathan Ake. For how much? They bought Diaz for 50 odd million pounds and they bought Ake for 40. I'm sorry, bruh. We ain't that team. As much as I love my team, we're not that. We don't move that.
Sorry to cut you both. Richard Howe says Ben Davies. Again, with all due respect, the reason we've not mentioned Ben Davies, we've not seen him in a Liverpool shirt. And
I love him.
You've got to ask yourself a question here. Yes, he's had an injury, they've said, but Kabak came from a foreign league and is younger than Ben Davies and has been playing. Ben Davies has just about made match day squads and we're playing with 9 subs at the moment. I don't think Ben Davies is happening.
We're selling him. I
don't think we'll be seeing much of Ben Davies in a Liverpool shirt if we see him at all.
We're going to sell a hologram.
I feel bad for the guy, to be honest. He got a dream move and it's going to end up coming to nothing. Kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. As a person, as a Liverpool fan, I feel my heart goes out to him, if I'm going to be honest. Because, like, you wake up, it's almost like you say, here's the present you've always wanted. Here's a PS5 and someone just says, yeah, but someone's cut the plug off the end of it. So what is it?
No, even worse. There's no controllers.
It's just a console. Like, it's just, I feel it for him. I really do feel it for him.
You can switch it on, but you can't even switch it off.
I go on better.
Davies going to be sold then? Is he someone who's been brought in to make profit on?
Yeah, we'll probably get about 3 mil for him.
Yeah,
and then it'll be looked at as a couple of £1 million profit, just randomly for nothing.
It's sad, but just right. I don't think he was originally brought in to be sold. I just think Klopp's looked at him and thought, nah, brother, like, you're good, but I don't know if you can. And that's me being real. And I find it kind of mad that he's seen no first team football whatsoever. Not even for 3 minutes. So we can all see, like, we know, okay, he's fast, he's aggressive. Bro, no one can say nothing about Ben Davies because he's never played.
Idea.
That's crazy. That is actually
here's what's weird about this Ben Davies.
We're entering April.
If you deep it, I'm not going to start bagging on Reece Williams because I don't want to be horrible. But he's a pretty basic defender, and we all say he's not ready or he's not good enough. Yeah. What we know of Ben Davies from what we watched him, he's better than Reece Williams. It's very strange.
We can't even really say that, though.
Based on what? Based on his highlights.
We watch, even though it's championship level, we watch Ben Davies playing competitive football and doing well.
No, that's true.
It's better than what clips level is anyway.
We've only seen clips though, bro.
No, but even the Preston fans have said they were upset because he was one of their best players. So if you're one of the best players in a championship team, you're better than Reece Williams. Now, come on, we can't be honest.
I don't know, bro.
No, I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying I can't agree because we ain't seen him as well. Because Ben Davies could look really good at Preston, bro, and play at Liverpool and be worse than Reece Williams. Whereas Reece Williams, well, if I can sort out my R's and W's, Reece Williams could play at Preston and look really good. We don't know. We actually don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think Reece Williams has played well enough for Liverpool to have not given Ben Davies a chance over him. And Reece has played twice since we signed Ben.
But this is what Sean's put. We have no data, bro.
Do you know what it is? Remember that game where you said, because I think you said it to me, you were like, rah. Remember, it's only a small sample size, but Reece Williams played well against Spurs. So at least he's kind of got that in the bank. With my man Davies, bro, I'm going to be real, fam. We are literally going off what people say from the championship and stuff that we see on YouTube. Because do you know how deep it is? We just about see him in training. And I'm going to be real. I don't have links to anybody on that training ground, but you just have that sinking feeling where them man go ham at Davies in training. Like, size him up on a one-on-one and it's every man's just like, wet like water, we got this, brother. But it's one of those ones. You can just sense it. Like, every man's just like, yeah, hey, put me on Davies, bro. Put it on my left so I could, because I'm going to be real, bro. We've not seen him once. Bro, not even 2 minutes at the end of the game where we want to defend maybe from a corner. And you know when Klopp used to bring on my man, the defender that we brought in, Coca, yeah? We've not seen nothing. That scares me. Man must be doing something in training where Klopp's is like.
Even Channing here said that Sepp is doing well at Preston.
He is, I was about to say that,
We all know each other's thoughts on Sepp.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a difficult one.
I walked into the Matip talk. Matip's going to go, Matt, based on the fact that he wants to prolong his career. It's not our decision at the moment. As long as we get a club willing to pay, he's already admitted Klopp's intensity in the Premier League. He knows his body can't deal with it. So to prolong his career, he wants to go. He wanted to go last summer.
Yeah.
He'll go. And you lot are right. If we're left with 3 centre-backs who are all under 23, 24 years old, apart from Van Dijk, it does have a little bit of complacency written all over it. I have to be honest. Because even if they're good, that is inexperience beyond your wildest dreams. A 20-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 24-year-old. And the 24-year-old isn't a leader. That is a ridiculously young back line. Imagine if Konate and Kabak were the two playing together. My word. That's 41 years old between them. That means they're nearly the same age as James Milner combined.
All right, I'm going to hit you with a stat though, Drift, yeah? Man City's 4 centre-backs. While not as young as that, aren't that old either.
All right, name me the players. Let me see if I can guess the age.
Where you've matured by then, Cal. They're like 24, 25. You've matured by then.
So, well, Joe Gomez is arguably matured then as well.
Yeah, but what I mean is the only one of the 3 is the least leaderish. We all know Joe Gomez is a fabulous defender, but he's so far from a leader. Age doesn't even matter anymore. Do you get what I mean? Like, so
you could argue. I mean, I hope I don't get slaughtered for saying this, and I hope people just listen to my actual statement here rather than go overboard. But you could argue that Kabak is a leader as well. I'm not saying Kabak's a wonderful defender, but as a leader, you could argue Kabak's a leader as well because he pretty much held that Schalke back line together since he's been there.
I don't know, man. I don't.
Can I just?
I'm not saying he's a better defender.
Is he a leader or was he the best defender?
Yeah, probably. Well, both. He was both, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Manchester City.
I haven't seen any leadership quality from him at Liverpool. I'll say that.
All right. So, who would you say is the best leader out of the Man City centre backs that they have right now?
Right now,
to be quite honest with you, I actually think all of them, apart from Ake, are pretty good at leading themselves, even if they're not leading others. So you won't really watch that team and go, oh, look, he's struggling without someone there to tell him what to do. Even John Stones, we've got to be honest, he doesn't need somebody telling him what to do. He doesn't.
No, but that doesn't equate to him being a leader just because he doesn't need instructions.
No, but what my issue with Gomez is that talent-wise, I think he's fabulous. But I feel like without someone going, Joe, check that, do this, he goes like, his head just don't seem to, he always makes mistakes where you're like, what's Gomez doing? And I feel like that is what Van Dijk did to improve his game. Van Dijk is the guy who goes, Joe, come in a bit. Joe, look at it. And he's like, he guides him through the games. And without him being there, I don't feel confident with Gomez being able to perform to the level that his ability can make him perform to. That's what my worry is.
By the way, I do agree with you guys. I've said it. I do want an experience. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a little bit because I personally think Manchester City, they're the best defender they've got at leading, in my opinion, from the looks of things, is Ruben Dias. But Ruben Dias is the youngest of their four centre backs.
Yeah, but
he's 23 years old.
It's not about age; it's about how.
So that's what I was just about to say. So
okay.
I think a lot of times we mix up experience with age, and I'm guilty of it myself. So I'm not even saying you lot doing that.
Would you say Kabak is more of a leader than Joe Gomez?
20 and 21 is really young.
No,
like,
it is
where you're not even considered a young player almost anymore. Whereas 20 and 21, you're still young.
No, I hear you. You're young at age though, Drift. But again, look, take us all for example. We've all got friends that we know. Like, all right, I'm 31. I've got friends older than me that I'm not going to say names or anything. But I know are less mature than I am at 31. But I've also got friends who are much younger than me. But I look at them and I think, yo, you're a lot more mature than I am.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
People age at different maturities, 100%.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, are we just being disingenuous to our centre backs, but based on their age?
No, but we're basing it on profile and experience. So you see Diaz, yeah? Diaz, if I'm not mistaken, was captain at like 21 years of age at Benfica or something like that. He was really young when he was captain. A bit like Steven Gerrard, that type of mold where from when he was young, he was a captain. So you can see it in Diaz.
Yeah.
Laporte, I don't think he's as much as a captain, but I feel like he just leads by example. He does his talking on the pitch. And I also feel like he's communicated a lot better as years gone by, as he's been at City. I think John Stones might not be necessarily the best leader, but he does talk though. He does. If you look at John Stones, he does talk. Like, that's just his nature. At Liverpool, Joe Gomez is kind of quiet. Like, if you watch the game...
Sorry to cut you right there. That's what I want to... Because I wanted one of you to say this, because this is what I want to... Again, I'm literally just playing devil's advocate just to keep the
of course.
Are we saying this about Gomez because he's more often than not partnered with Van Dijk? And I'm gonna spin it in a little way. Let's say, for example, there's a guy on the football pitch, yeah, who, let's say you've got a guy on the football pitch that you know every time you give him the ball, he's gonna beat two men and he's gonna test the keeper or slot it. You, by nature, are possibly gonna do less than what you usually do, and you and yourself are a quality player, but you know he's a level above you, so you know to make life easier for the whole team, you give him the ball, you let him do his thing, the team wins, everyone goes home happy. Doesn't necessarily mean you're not great or you're not a leader in this situation, but someone just ahead of you. So are we being, again, harsh on Gomez because we've got the best centre-back in the world arguably the best centre-back leader in the world, next to Ramos, in my opinion. And we're expecting Gomez to be that level. And if anything underneath that level, we perceive as him being quiet and not a talker and not good enough.
Gomez and Matip.
The only reason I was saying no is because I'm basing it on seeing Gomez partner Matip. I'm not basing it on when I see him partner Van Dijk. And when he partners Matip, he looks kind of lost.
Okay, but how many times has he partnered Matip?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's enough of an example for me to know I don't like it.
I think if I'm not mistaken, again, guys in the comments, you probably will know this better than me, but I'm almost certain it's around 7 or 8 times they've partnered each other at the whole time they've been at the club.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a massive amount, but every time I've seen it, I've watched Gomez look a shadow of the player that I normally see him as. And it always makes me feel like it's because he doesn't have somebody leading him through the game. I'm not acting like he's worthless or anything.
No, I know you don't. I know you rate Gomez.
He's one of those players that just needs to be guided through a game.
All right.
He might grow out of it because obviously he's still quite young himself. These times I'm judging him, he was only 21, 22 years old. You know what I mean? So, like, he might grow out of it because he was young himself. So maybe it is a bit of a, like, we've just got to wait and watch how he matures. But I don't like the idea of Gomez and Kabak, for example. I look at that and I think, who's going to lead that defence through a really tough period of games? Or, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel a little worried about that.
I'm going to hit you. Sorry, Matt. I'm going to hit you with another scenario now. So we spoke about the Gomez thing. And again, I don't think 7 games, and again, I'm guessing how many games, but I'm guessing it's around 7 times they've partnered each other. But again, we look at the climate in which they've partnered each other as well. The first time I think they ever played together as a pair was, I think, against Leicester City back in the League Cup I think it might have been Klopp's first half a season. And we lost that game 2-0. One was a long range and the other one was just a close range goal. And they actually played well in that game together. But obviously Gomez was a lot younger then. And I think the other times have come this season since Virgil's been injured. But again, the whole team hasn't been performing well and we haven't had our best players in the right positions. So again, is it harsh to criticize Gomez and say he's not potentially a leader or he can't be a leader? And again, if you're Gomez, it's all right. And I can attest to this. You guys are both big brothers. My brother's a big man to me. I love my brother to bits, but if there's certain things I can't shout at my brother for, and Gomez probably looks at Virgil and thinks, I can't shout at him if he's doing like. And you guys know me and my brother, we've got respect for each other, we love each other. But there's certain times I just won't shout at my brother for certain things that I'd shout at my nephew for example. Could it be that situation as well?
It could be. You're right, but
you might be right, bro.
I think Jota is.
Maybe we are being harsh for real.
Yeah, but Jota is. The relationship between VVD and Gomez, even off the pitch, you can see like Gomez looks at him like a big brother. And I think that element does come into it. I think you're entirely right. Because I think there are times when maybe we might not even see it. Virgil might make a mistake, but Gomez don't really want to say nothing. So it looks like he's just quiet, like he don't. But again, I understand Drew's point where we see maybe Gomez and Matip play, and Matip looks more of the leader. But again, are we saying that just because Matip is, in my opinion, more of an imposing defender? So we automatically say he's the leader because he's more imposing. Jota is, I'll just say this. Gomez is highly talented. I think maybe his leadership skills are underrated because he's playing with defenders that are a lot older than him. And maybe he feels he can't bad them up. And I think it's about pulling rank and maybe it's about respect. The way how we move, you can tell Gomez respects his peers, especially in the back line. The only person he doesn't respect is, dare I say, Adrian, when Adrian gave that pass in the Champions League. And he looked at Adrian and was like, that's the only time when I saw Gomez look at him like, fam, why are you giving that stupid dead ball? Didn't I tell you in training, like, we got to cut this crap out? That's the only time I've seen Gomez kind of get really mad and, do you know what I mean? But other than that, I just think He's a talent. We just got to keep him fit.
There's a couple of people in the comments. Look, you're entitled to your opinion wholeheartedly, so I'm not even saying you're wrong. But there's people in the comments that are putting down Gomez in comparison to Kabak. I'll be honest with you, Kabak's been doing all right. Like we definitely are kind of more impressed with him now than we were when we first signed him. But that's pure bias if you think Kabak's better than Gomez. That's like
a centre back.
Yeah, as a centre back.
I've all due respect to Kabak. Gomez is better.
That's not even a question.
No disrespect to Kabak.
That's not even a question.
For me, Gomez is. I don't want to use this word because I don't like me using it. But
no, I'll say he's clear.
I'm gonna be real. Kabak. He's clear. He's clear of Kabak. He's clear. Gomez is clear of Kabak. Don't fall in love with the present. Are you gonna sleep on Joe Gomez? Some of the games that he's played, and you're gonna base it on a short span of games where Kabak's gone from looking dodgy to looking okay to potentially looking good. Are you gonna tell me that's enough to convince you that he's better than Gomez? What?
Yeah,
nah, fam. Nah, bro. Gomez is clear of Kabak. It's not even a debate.
I can't believe that people are actually even making that. Kabak's starting to get like some real loving guy in there, isn't it? Like
Kabak's got bare fans. He's got bare fans, and rightly so.
I'll be honest. I actually quite like Kabak. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm never gonna sit here and tell you he's better than Gomez unless I see it happen. Unless he overtakes Gomez in the pecking order and all that. Otherwise, then no, he's not better. Justin's comment here. This is what I was going to ask you guys next, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. But does a leader have to be a big talker? In fact, no. I'm going to ask that differently. Does a centre-back leader have to be a big talker?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a big difference between being a team captain and being a centre-back captain. If you're a team captain, you don't need to be a talker. You can be a leader by example. If you're a defensive captain, you have to be a talker because there's organisation that involves communication is the biggest key to being a good defensive line, without a shadow of a doubt. If your defensive line don't talk, they won't be organised. It's a fact. Unless all of a sudden these men are on some iRobot team where they've all got chips in their head and they can hear each other's thoughts, you have to talk in order to communicate and in order to get everything like lined up. And no, I'm covered. It's mine. When we were making the jokes about the Sunday League team, what were some of the jokes? Kabak's ball! Like, that's the time you've got to hear that.
Reina was the king for that.
There you go. Schmeichel. Remember how much Schmeichel used to talk to his defence?
Yeah.
He was the actual leader of the defence. Schmeichel was the leader of that Man United back line. He was the one. But unfortunately, Alisson isn't really that type of guy. Because if he was, maybe it would help the defenders. But Ali ain't a vocal guy like that. It's
no, Ali is vocal.
Not enough for us to not have a leader as a centre back, and he'll do the organising.
I disagree with that. If he's vocal, bro.
No, Ali vocal, but you still need centre backs that listen. We've all been Anfield, yeah. Your centre backs need to talk. Communication is so key between whether it's the defenders and the goalkeeper. Like, you always have to be communicating. Like, bro, when I hear Van Dijk talking at Anfield, yeah, he constantly talking. It's like, do you know what it is, yeah? When Van Dijk is on the pitch, and again, it's Van Dijk, bro, he doesn't shut up. He literally doesn't shut up. And that's the whole point, because maybe because those are his leadership skills in the sense of he needs to feel like he's directing, because that's what Van Dijk does when I've watched him and I've been at Anfield, yeah? He's telling Robert, Trent, do it. Like, he's constantly. Now, I'm not saying you necessarily have to do that, because some people can say you can live by example, but I feel like in defense is so crucial, where you always need to be communicating. You don't necessarily have to shout every second of the game, but there needs to be a right amount of communication to get, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. And I just feel like people, again, that want to talk about like Kabak and Gomez, like, why are we even having this debate? Like, Gomez is like so clear for me of Kabak. I'm sorry. Like, and again, like, look at
To say Kabak is better than Gomez is being so reactionary.
Do you know what someone said?
I think people are just doing it to get a reaction. To be honest,
they are doing a reaction, or they're caught up in the recency bias in terms of like what you've seen so far. You've forgotten what my man's done. Are you sleeping on Joe Gomez and what he's done at Liverpool in terms of watch how Gomez defends? Don't tell me he ain't got no defending brain. Because I've seen someone said in the comments, his pace makes up. No, his pace is an attribute. Do you know how good Gomez is at intercepting? Are you stupid? Sorry, let me not say that. That's a bit disrespectful. I'm not saying you're stupid, but I'm just saying don't be silly and think that Joe Gomez can't read the game. He can read the game. It's just that his pace is an added attribute to what he has. Listen, I'm sorry. Them people that want to try and talk about Kabak is better than Gomez, it actually riles me, and I apologize if I said you're stupid. I don't. But real talk, are you stupid?
Yeah, for me,
Gomez. Come on, man.
Gomez is better. Like,
come on,
he just is better. Like, and again, I don't even think Kabak's rubbish. I actually like Kabak. I'm not saying he's a defender I'd necessarily pick given a choice, but I like Kabak. I think he's a good centre back.
Listen, Kabak has grown on me, and I'll sit here and tell you firsthand. I was the first person on the show to say, "Raw, like, man, don't think Kabak is that." Do I feel like we should make that clause permanent? That's a question that maybe Cal will ask me, and I will give you an honest answer because a lot has transpired since then. But
I'm going to say my real thoughts on Kabak until we're in the semi-final.
Do you know what? I'm going to say this, Drift. People, again, you see, this is the thing, and I'm not making a comparison, but look at Lloris. Look at on my days, what's his name? It's skipped from my brain.
Mignolet.
No. Karius. Remember when Karius went through a spell where we were doing okay? We had some clean sheets. Doing all right. Some people might say
Liverpool out of all the goalkeepers.
No, percentage.
Some people might have even said, some people might have even said, Karius is all right, you know. Look, we're winning games.
Matt, that. We did. We actually were like, do you know what? Karius ain't too bad.
Nah, you know what it is, Drift? No, Drift, let's be real. At surface, we were like, Karius he's all right. But deep down, we kind of said, something's going to happen. And it's how is he going to rise to the big occasion? We had that conversation off air, I remember. And yeah, dare I say it, he's what he is.
I had quite a lot of arguments with Liverpool fans because even when Karius was going through his big phase where he's doing well, I kept on saying we need to replace him in the summer, and I was getting a lot of stick for it. But there's just some players you can look at and you just know there's something around the corner.
I just don't understand why.
And that's what I said. We've
got
Arsenal,
the second coming, you know.
Then we've got Real Madrid. Even though that will still be quite reactionary, let's get through that. And then we'll talk about Kabak and Phillips in a real way. I know we've been laughing and joking and having fun to try and bring the spirits up because we've been so poor lately. Like a lot of people will watch our past shows. I think we're being serious when we say Phillips is as good as Maldini. But we're having fun with what we're doing better than we have been. After these two games, that is going to be the real test.
Do you know what?
Honestly, these two games will be the real test to how good Kabak and Phillips are as a partnership.
No, agreed. Because you want to know something? You see in big games when you need to step up, that for me always shows your true quality. Like you can only, dare I say, I'm not saying they are, but a footballer can only hire for so long. That like if you're not at a certain level, you will get exposed because there's gonna come a game where you're gonna get caught out of depth. I'm not saying these lot are, you know. I'm saying Kabak could rise to the occasion and be like, Matt, shut him out. I'm Kabak. Are you stupid? Or it'll be a case of, do you know what? The suspicions that I had about him, unfortunately, came to fruition. And I don't want it to be. This is why people get confused. I don't want Kabak to mess up, you know. I want Kabak to be the truth. We made a song for man. Like, come on now. I want Kabak to be sick,
Matt,
but I can only go by what I see.
Do you know what two perfect examples of that are? Adrian and Karius, when both played well in the Champions League run for Karius and in the Premier League winning season for Adrian, Both played well. We didn't have any problems. We weren't complaining.
Disagree. Adrian was still terrible. We were just winning games.
No, Cal. Don't you remember in that Premier League? He had about 5 or 6 games in the Premier League where we were like, you know what? Adrian's actually playing well.
No, Cal, we were. No, we all were. No, Cal, we weren't saying he was great.
Go back and watch the tapes, guys.
He was getting 6.57 a game for his ratings, bro. He was playing all right, bro.
Go back and watch the tape.
You're saying go back to watch the tape. You brought the evidence to one, yeah, and said, "Raw."
You keep on drawing me out on this. You know what? You keep on drawing me out on this, bro. I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna make.
Was it a members bid that Cal said this?
I'm gonna research.
Was it a members bid that he said this?
I think it was on Monday night show, but we'll have to go and find it.
Go back to
I'm
the
gonna
archive.
get you back.
I'm just saying.
No, but anyway. So regardless, they were having decent performances, but then for Adrian, it was the Champions League and the FA Cup against Atletico and Chelsea, and for Karius, it was the Roma semi-final and then the final where you were like, look, the pressure of it being that game, you see his quality now can't hide because the opposition is so good. And that is what I'm waiting to watch with Kabak. If against Arsenal and Real Madrid, he still performs well, I'll be like, do you know what? He probably is actually the real deal. Like maybe, you know what I mean? But if he all of a sudden can't deal with it, I want to see all the people who were saying he's better than Gomez. Then we need to have a conversation because I'm going to be like, I've seen Gomez in the high-profile games and he's done his thing on many occasions. Many occasions.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I've seen Man City trying to rattle him. They can't get anywhere. Like big games, I've seen Gomez. You can't rattle Gomez. But let's see. You know what I mean? So I'm with you, man. I want Kabak to be good. I want him to perform well. 80 mil is a snip if we've got a little future background.
It is.
But
if he
let's
performs.
not get carried away because the teams we beat, we were supposed to beat those teams.
Agreed.
Here's the real test now. What's going to happen when we have the real... And at Phillips too, not even just Kabak, Phillips as well. We've got a massive 4 days, or 5 days or whatever it is with Arsenal and Real Madrid. Let's see what I go on.
For real. Facts.
Very true. I'm going to read out some of these super chats then, guys.
Yeah.
So Adam LFC, I feel sorry for Ben Davies because I don't see how he gets into the team, but I'll be buzzing with Konate if it happens. Facts. 1975 Jamrock, Kaletakar is 24. I don't trust Kabak to have any significant role on a team trying to challenge for titles. Top 4, I'm cool with Kabak. Fair assessment. MH says, Konate had a good game versus United when Leipzig won. Did indeed. Dinesh says, we don't know how good Ben Davies is when he plays. Marcus Barnes, I disagree about selling Matip. It could take a while for Gomez and Van Dijk to return to form, so I wouldn't be surprised if we signed both Kabak and Konate. Good point. We genuinely don't know how version, especially, dare I say, especially Gomez as well, because Gomez is apparently one of the worst knee injuries they said they've seen.
Swear down.
So,
I didn't need to hear that, Cal. But remember, I was saying about I don't think the decision is ours. Matip wants to prolong his career in a league that's easier to play in. It isn't about us, it's about him.
Mr. Here's my rebuttal with a super chat and also got an icon with my face on it. Says Neto and Konate or Koulibaly and Pulisic in the summer, one or the other. Drift left to right, right to left.
So what was the first one? Konate and who?
Neto and Konate.
Or Pulisic and Koulibaly.
Oh.
I know who I'm picking.
I'm gonna go with my bias, and I'm gonna pick Pulisic and Koulibaly just because I love both those players. But I get why you lot would say Neto and Konate.
Matt?
Neto and Konate.
Yeah, you guys already know my answer.
Neto, Konate, because I look at it like Neto's gonna come up. Pulisic is talented. Dare I say it, may even be more talented than Neto, but he's kind of, I don't know whether it's the club he's at, I don't know. As for Koulibaly versus Konate, Koulibaly's been there, done that. You worry about where his career is right now. You're not too sure whether it's a loss of love for Napoli or whether he's in a decline. Konate, it's just injuries, but you can't deny the promise that he has. So I'm going to stick it on the two prospects that potentially may have a higher ceiling than the two other players I just mentioned.
If it wasn't for the injuries, Pulisic would be so good right now. You lot would be wishing he never signed for Chelsea. Honestly, it's just the injuries. That kid is special. He is.
But Pulisic is serious. He is serious. He is serious. He is serious.
Basin Industries, Basement, Ben, 5th choice now, question mark, Konate, Matip 2.0, question mark. I don't think Ben's a choice. Konate, only time will tell if he's Matip or not. Literally, only time will tell. Gangan Deep. We're also linked with Daka. I wouldn't opt for him if Zambia qualify for the AFCON, which commences January 2022.
You know what?
Mane, hold on. Him, Mane, Salah, and Keita will go, which will be a deterrent to our season. I'd rather take Andre Silva for that profile of player.
I hear a lot of people talking about Andre Silva ever since that list came out from the Independent that had him in it. You see the Daka thing, yeah? Cal, I mean absolutely no disrespect to this brother, yeah? I'm just talking strictly football, not personal.
That's why I've not mentioned Daka on this stream, because it feels as though I feel like I'm getting at him, and that's not my intention.
And I don't want it to come across like that either. And that's why I'm putting the disclaimer out first. Yeah. But I'll be quite frank with you. If you can't even impress me on YouTube, you are 100% not good enough for Liverpool.
Let me guess, you're talking about Patson Daka.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be disingenuous, to be horrible, to be whatever. I watched Theo Walcott look like Thierry Henry on YouTube. Yes, we were misled, but YouTube was able to make him look that good. Patson Daka can't even look good on YouTube. He is a standard striker. If we buy Patson Daka, you lot will be cursing for the high heels by Christmas. I'm not joking.
What we saying? Like, YouTube is that powerful. It make man like Asaidi look like a prime Figo.
Big up Asaidi. Asaidi was.
Asaidi could dribble, you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real.
But am I wrong, guys? If you're playing in the Austrian league for the best team in the Austrian league, and your YouTube highlights still ain't banging, come on, man. Come on.
I'm gonna be real. I said, listen.
We have to keep it honest.
I said this to Kyle earlier. This is the easiest way I like to look at things. Man City are going to win the league. They're most likely going to be the best. They're going to win it, right? What squad do they have? Look at their front lineup. I'm seeing a lot of people say Aguero's said that he's leaving and whatever. We'll get into that later. But just for argument's sake, right this second, it's Aguero and Jesus. Okay. I'll take it back actually, because if Aguero's leaving, they're going to go in for a striker. Do you lot think Man City are going to buy Patson Daka? Yes or no? Type it in the comments right now. I think a lot of you would say no. Do you want to know why Man City are not after Patson Daka? Because they're after tier 1 strikers. They're not after someone that they need to birth and get ready and see if he's got it or not. They want the real deal. They're going for Haaland. They're going for Mbappe. They're going for Lautaro Martinez. Yeah, they're going for a top boy. They might even go for Lukaku, from what I'm hearing as well. They're going after top quality strikers. We are Liverpool, yeah? Why should we be going after a striker that they wouldn't go for? And I'm not saying it's always the be-all end-all, but it's like Man City will look at that and think, is he better than Jesus? No, he's not. So why would we go and get Patson Daka? We need to go and get replacement for Aguero. We're gonna go tier 1.
Again, trying not to be disrespectful to Daka, we're just trying to set a level here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say that we're
Matt, name me any club in the top 6 that would go and buy Patson Daka.
All right, so you got to change the question, Drift. Name a team in the top.
Patson Daka hear me out. As good as Iniacho.
Now hear me out. You've got to change the question, Drift.
You got a point there. You probably ain't.
This is the thing. they may buy Patson Daka. Would they buy Patson Daka to be their first choice striker?
But hear what I said: the replacement for Kun Aguero, which means they are going for a league title, they're going for Champions League. So wait a minute. So we're Liverpool. We've got Roberto Firmino, who's split an opinion whether you want to.
No, it's not split an opinion. He's not good enough.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Regardless, yeah, he's our only him and Divock Origi. So people in our fan base right now are saying we need a top quality striker, and you're telling me the player that we need to hit the ground running. You're telling me, people in the comments, yeah, we should go and buy Patson Daka. So you're telling me Patson Daka is better than Roberto Firmino and Divock Origi. From what you've seen, from what you guys have seen, you're telling me Patson Daka is that guy. I'm not disrespecting him, I'm just saying from what I've seen, I don't think Patson Daka is a signing that we should be aiming for. We should be aiming way higher than Patson Daka. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's the only point I'm trying to make. Aubameyang and Lacazette, no, he's not better than. Vardy and Iniacho, no, he's not better than. Origi and Firmino, no, he's not better.
I don't think he's better than.
Aguero and Jesus, no, he's not better than.
He's not better than Jimenez.
Martial and Cavani, no, he's not better than.
No.
Dare I say it, there's an argument to say whether he's even better than Tammy Abraham. He's not better than Giroud.
I was just about to say that.
How on earth can anybody be like, yeah, get him? Like, come on, man. There's got to be levels to this.
And again, people, can I say this? And this is a question I want to ask every single person in the chat. Are we saying Patson Daka is a good player because we kind of know deep down that's the budget, the type of player that we're looking for? Because let's be real. If we had unlimited money, would you, man, be going and saying, go and get Patson Daka? Or would you, man, be going and saying, go give me Haaland or Mbappe? The only reason why you're saying Patson Daka is because deep down you're thinking about funds and what we can attract. Don't get sucked into that. I'm telling you, we are Liverpool Football Club. I'm not saying Daka's a bad player. I'm not, people. For all I know, Patson Daka could be one of the best players of his generation. But I'm saying for what we need right now under Jurgen Klopp, we need an out-and-out striker who's testified. We ain't got to question him. And right now, we don't have to question Mbappe. We don't have to question Haaland. We don't have to question Lukaku. I'm just giving you strikers off my head. We don't have to question Benzema. We don't have to question none of these players. So don't give me Patson Daka. Don't get sucked into the mindset of the finances. Don't get sucked into that. I'm sick and tired of it. We're Liverpool. Are we West Ham? Come on, man. Brother, please.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of sit there.
It's frustrating, though.
No, I don't even like speaking about the Patson Daka thing because it just seems like
we're bullying it. Not bullying, but it's like you're singling out one player. But
it's nothing to do with Daka, the person or the player. It's the profile of the player.
It is.
For me, Daka's a player we'd sign towards the end of Brendan Rodgers' regime or the very beginning of Klopp's regime. For me, Daka's not the profile of player we need right now. We need a player who comes in and through his talent and what his current standing is in the game says, I start this game and I dominate because of who I am. And for me, I don't think Daka does that.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't think.
And when you look through our rich history of strikers, I don't even know why anybody would even question that. Like, just go through our rich history of strikers and look at all of the players there were, and then you think it's not a disrespect to Daka, but you can't hold a candle to that, and that's the level we're supposed to be trying to maintain. We're supposed to be maintaining that level, guys.
And go look
a proper striker.
Yeah, and go look at the players. Even Suarez, you could look at his Ajax resume and go, but no, he was doing it in Champions League though. And look at some of the things that Suarez was doing, Patson Daka can't hold a candle to. It's that simple. Like, you look at the caliber of what they're doing. Again, I'm not saying Patson Daka is not, in my opinion, hasn't got something about him. But if you want to go for a Champions League, a Premier League, FA Cup, try and do a Man City, try and do a quadruple, whatever, try and win as many trophies as you can. In my opinion, Patson Daka shouldn't be our first choice. If he's in the rankings and you've got, say, a Haaland, a Firmino, and a Daka, yeah, I'm cool with that, because then at least you can see, can he progress to that level? Is he going to make it? You've got time, because Haaland's already banging 40 goals a season. But I'm saying for him to lead the line and to hit the ground running, you're asking a lot from Patson Daka, in my opinion. But it is what it is. People love him on his channel, innit? I don't know what it is, but they love him, innit?
Sticking on the topic of strike. In fact, I'll read out the super chats and we'll speak about strikers. You finish off the super chat. So A-Spec Limited said, another scenario, buy Konate and Botman, sell Nat Davies and keep Matip as 5th choice. VVD, Gomez, Konate, Botman, Matip. I like the idea of at least one left-footed centre-back. The problem with Matip is his wages. I think if he wasn't on what he's on, I think the club would probably want to keep him. But and as Drift keeps on saying as well, it's not down to the club anymore. I think Matip kind of just wants to go somewhere where the football's not so demanding, and he's good enough. Like, let's say, for example, he goes to France. He's good enough to play in France. He's good enough to walk into that PSG team, in my opinion.
It's like when you and me was talking earlier, Cal, when you said, "What do you think Liverpool might use him in a make-way deal with Leipzig for Konate because it can make things easier money-wise?" And then when I mentioned to you about how intense their football is, even you thought, yeah, shit, it would have made much difference him leaving Liverpool to go and play in Leipzig's high intensity. So I think he needs to go to a team where the defending is quite, he'd do well in like a Jose Mourinho side, where the defending is deep and you're more, it's more about organization and physicality. Yeah. That's the type of kind of setup that I think Matip needs now at 30. And with the way his body is and that kind of thing. You can't play in a team that's expansive and it's about playing and pressing, and because he's already shown at Liverpool, that's why his body keeps breaking down. He's not cut out for that no more. Do you get what I mean? Maybe Tottenham. I don't want to see him play for a rival, but maybe Tottenham would be a good move for him if Mourinho's still their manager. He'd probably go in there and play next to Alvaro and make a pretty good partnership. But
A-Spec Limited says leadership is about personality, not age. Very true. Gangan Deep says, and just touching on that as well, Gangan Deep says De Ligt was Ajax captain at 19. Indeed. Gomez is more vocal than Matip from Musa LFC 21. I generally don't. He actually might be. Aidan Andrews, how many 30 strikers are out there to get though?
Not a lot. Not a lot. But put yourself in the conversation. That's the whole point.
It depends on our ambition and finances.
We're talking about flipping. You know what? This Pastor Daka thing gonna rile me up. People talking in the chat.
You know that whole thing about personality over age. I 100%. I do agree with that to a large extent. The only thing I will say is maybe the younger audience won't get it as much, but the older members of the audience will. And Matt will relate to this a lot. I'm not baiting up anything, but you'll relate to this a lot. Sometimes it don't even matter whether the guy's making sense. When he's so much younger than you, you just think, I'm not letting you tell me what to do. Honestly, like there's something that age and maturity does to you.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously, right. I'm not gonna out your life.
I know exactly what you said. I know exactly what you said.
And you know what?
100.
You can't even explain 100. It, can you? It might even 100. Be pride. I don't know what it is, but like if you're
but it's not that.
If you're a 30-year-old footballer and you've got a 20-year-old brother in your team who's captain. You just kind of like, no, you're not telling me what to do. You're not.
No. Drift. No. What it is though. All right. So see Sammy Hippier. When Gerrard took over that captaincy, you know why Sammy Hippier didn't say nothing? Because he looked at my man and thought, this man's generational. See, if that person is generational or something out of this world, like see Lionel Messi, I don't think anyone in that Barca team, no matter how old they are, and I get he's an anomaly, but I'm just saying, when you've got the credentials, bro, no one can talk to you. But you see, if you're just any brother, yeah, any guy, no, that brother can't tell you nothing. If that brother's any guy, you have to have the credentials, you have to have the CV to back it up. That's the honest truth. You have to, because it's about what you've done. What have you brought to the game? What have you done in it? What if you put something to the game?
And Matt, like I said, just age. Like if you're, and as a random example in life, if you're 40, yeah, and a 30-year-old tells you something, or if you're 50 and a 40-year-old tells you something, you're both of a maturity that you will listen to.
Yeah. I hear that.
If you're 30 and a 20-year-old tells you what to do, or you're 20 and a 10-year-old tells you what to do, the age gap's the same, but all of a sudden it's different because you're like, you don't have anywhere near enough life.
That's why I said credentials.
I don't even care how much. I don't even care how mature you are. I don't care if you've got a good head on your shoulders. You can't be 20 and tell a 30-year-old anything.
Agreed.
You just can't. And that's why you have to, like, do you get what I mean? Age matters when you're of a certain age, and then you can get to another age where age doesn't matter anymore. So I don't think you can have a 20-year-old telling a 30-year-old what to do on a football pitch, and that 30-year-old is really gonna listen. They'll be like, listen, how long you been a professional? I know you're good in that, but nah, you're not bossing me around. You're not. I'm not having this. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's difficult. It's difficult, man. It's difficult.
Jay Finn says, but Mo wasn't in the ranking to be next big player, Matt. And look how he turned out, but I understand your point.
What's he talking about, sorry?
This is relating back to Daka.
Is he trying to compare Daka to Mo Salah?
Wait. Guys, let's not get
Mo
too
Salah
emotional
at Roma compared to my man.
Let me rebuttal it. I understand.
Right. He said he understands my point, so I'm going to leave it. I ain't going to say nothing.
Look, Daka's numbers are good, yeah? They are good. Not going to dispute that. Ever going to dispute that. And I can only speak for myself. But I do not think Daka's rubbish. I think he's a good striker.
He is.
I just want a striker who's top or world class. And I don't think Daka falls into that bracket. And again, when we signed Mo, we were trying to get into the Champions League. We were battling for 4th place. We are now trying to win leagues and Champions League.
Thank you, bro.
Is Daka going to guarantee? And again, it's not about guaranteeing it, because Daka could come and do a madness. We could get Haaland, for example, and he could come in and flop.
Yeah.
But if I was to ask everyone in the comments right now, who do you think's got a higher chance of succeeding at Liverpool, Paxton Daka or Erling Haaland? I think everyone confidently say Erling
Mbappe.
Haaland.
Put Mbappe in the conversation.
Or Mbappe. We'd say Haaland or Mbappe, because Daka hasn't proven anything at a top level, and Haaland and Mbappe have, and they're both younger than him. That's what we're trying to say here. We're not saying he's rubbish.
Hold on, how old is Paxton Daka again? How old is he again?
I think he's 22.
He's 22.
Or 23. Either 22 or 23. Again,
and these men are balling out at PSG and Dortmund and are setting the Champions League on fire.
I hear you. What we're saying, and again, I speak for me, I'm not saying I don't think Daka's good. I think he's good.
Bro.
In the same way, I think there's other players that are good. Do I want to see them at Liverpool right now? Probably not. And that's because of where we are right now as a club. We can't stockpile players. We can't. We see where we're at right now because of stockpiling players. We can't do it. Haaland, you look at his numbers, you look at his gameplay, and he's better than Daka. Mbappe the same. Harry Kane the same. Lautaro Martinez the same. And they're all around his age bracket. Again, people, this is what we're getting at.
Well, basically, Cal, I'll say it. I'm not saying Daka isn't good. I'm saying he's not good enough. And there is a difference. He's not good enough.
No, Jeff. What it is?
To be Liverpool's leading striker in the Champions League quarterfinal against Real Madrid, Daka is not good enough.
No, it's not even that. Jeff.
I want better than that. I want better than that. Even if you go through Europe and you look at somebody like Immobile, he has better credentials than a Daka, where I'd even be more happier with that.
He's got receipts. Daka's got
he's got that. It can't look at Minamino as an example, yeah? It was a low risk, high reward, but it never worked. I don't want Daka to become another Minamino, and it's a whole nother season wasted trying to keep up with these teams. Do you not realise what Man City and Chelsea and Man United are going to do in the summer? I don't quite think anybody's quite got this wrap around their head with FFP.
This right here, and again, I'm not trying to draw you out, whoever you are making the comment. We are Liverpool guys, not Real Madrid. That is the fundamental issue, in my opinion.
The mindset is wrong, bro. The mindset is wrong.
Are we all getting on this Paxton Daka boat because we think or almost know we can't compete for top strikers, so we've got to now settle for the tier below.
Bro,
hear me out. If that's what we're doing, then if we want a player who's below the top class, world class tier, then yes, we can look at Patson Daka and take him seriously. But as a fan, and again, I only speak for me because I cannot speak for a whole fan base. I'm only speaking for me. I do not want a player who's good now and could potentially be great in a year or two. I want a player who's great now and can go on to be amazing in a year or two. That's what I want. I
worldly. Now let's say how it is.
And when people are saying we're Liverpool, we're not Real Madrid, maybe that's the problem then, isn't it? Maybe that's the issue. Yeah, maybe it's a thing where we need to start questioning that. Why, when we've won 6 Champions League, a current Premier League champions, won the World Club Cup, Super Cup, why is it we've got this prestigious history? Why is it we've got Jurgen Klopp at the helm? Why is it we've got Virgil van Dijk, who's the best centre-back in the world? Why is it we've got Alisson, who's one of the world's best goalkeepers? Why is it we've got Fabinho, who's the best DM in the world? Why is it we've got Mane? Why is it we've got Salah? Why is it we've got all these players? But yet when we say we should go for a Haaland, Mbappe, etc., we're told, nah, we're Liverpool. Look at Daka. Maybe that's the thing we should be analysing, as opposed to me, Matt, and Drift getting criticised for saying we don't want Daka because we want a Haaland or an Mbappe or a Harry Kane. Maybe that's where the situation needs to go, as opposed to just hearing us say we don't want a particular player, not because any of us are saying he's rubbish, but because we're saying we want something better.
Yeah, that's
all I'm asking.
I think you articulated it perfectly.
You said, Cal, was credential. Yeah. I would rather sit here and hear that all of a sudden Klopp's thought, you know what, I'm going to see what I can do with Lukaku. Because whether or not I think he'll fit the system.
Drift there.
I'm going to finish off what he's going to say. He's going to say whether or not he finishes the system.
No, I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Even if I don't think he fits the system, I'll still sit back and go, hey, the man's got receipts. I can see the logic behind this. Lukaku, the man gets like 20 goals every season, even if you don't rate him. In big leagues, not the Austrian league, in big leagues. Like, I don't want to be sitting there talking about a man who's performing well in the league that's not really worth it. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, none of us are going to sit here now and want anyone who's banging it up in even like the Portuguese or the Dutch league, for an example. We've seen players who perform very well, and then the Premier League just overwhelms them when they come over here. And those leagues are way higher level than the Austrian league. That you just have to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, the Austrian league is a league where if he is a good player, then he's expected to do what he's doing. How well is he? I need Daka to go Dortmund for a year or two. And then I'm like, oh, okay, it was real. It was real talent.
You know what it is, Drift?
Okay,
this is the problem.
Boom. Not straight to Liverpool,
Drift, sorry to cut you. This is the problem. Because people have seen Haaland do it for the same team, they think, well, if Patson Daka can do it, so if Haaland could do it, and Daka's doing it, that means they're of the same level. It don't work like that, people. I'm sorry. Football is not always 2 and 2 plus 4. Because if that's always the case, then the best team should always win every single game. We know that's not the case, yeah? I'm going to say it like this.
Go on, sorry, man.
Patson Daka is a talent. I think he is. But we're a Liverpool Football Club. If we want to win every single freaking trophy that we are in for, in my opinion, you go for a level above that. You go for someone who is certified. You go for someone who's got receipts. You go for someone like a Haaland. You go for someone like an Mbappe. You go for someone, as Drift even said, no, not even that, a Harry Kane. You go for them, man. Because I'm going to be real, people. Here's the joke, and this is why it actually frustrates me with our fan base, but I still love you lot anyway. Harry Kane reportedly wants to leave Spurs. He even said the other day, I'm going to be thinking about the Euros or whatever. I'll think about it at the end of the season. That says to me he's unsure about his future. Liverpool Football Club, should be going for Kane. There should be a Kane agenda, but people are still going, no, but Patson Daka will be a good one, you know. Like, Patson Daka, like, think of the price, bro. Look what Haaland did. They're in the same league. We are Liverpool. I don't know how many times I have to stress it. Like, man's talking about Patson Daka, and you've got Harry Kane, and you've got Haaland and Mbappe. If you, man, think Patson Daka's the truth, fair enough. I'm not going to have a go at you. But I'm just saying, those three guys there that I've mentioned have some serious credentials that Daka can't even talk to. And because we want to be at the best right now, not about in 3 years or 4 years. We should be aiming for the players that are there right now. We'll worry about the future another day, because I'm sick and tired of also us buying players that were thinking about the future. How about right now? You see, when we got Thiago, we said right now. We didn't say 5 years down the line.
And again, I just want to, so a comment like this, for example, this is a fair comment. So Robbo didn't have credentials like that. That's very true.
That's very true.
I'll also ask you, Chris, when we signed Robbo, when we signed Robbo, what was our aim for that season? To qualify for top 4. It's so different trying to qualify for top 4 as opposed to trying to win a league and a Champions League. Because that's where we are now. Let's face it. We are now one of the teams that go into a season saying we need to win the league or win the Champions League.
Hold on.
When we signed Robbo, that was not the target.
No, Cal, I've got 2 other things to add to that. First of all...
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just got to say something just quickly. Someone said something outrageous, yeah? I'm sorry, I'm drawing you out. I don't care. What credentials did Van Dijk have? Let me think. Well... Did he win the league with Celtic? I'm not too sure. When he went to Southampton from, I can't remember what year it was, but I would say arguably from the 15-16 season, people were talking that, right, this man's already world class. He was at Southampton. We also played against him. We saw what man can do. He's playing in the Premier League. Man City will also in for him and so will Chelsea. And you're telling me what credentials does he have? So you're telling me Pep Guardiola didn't see no credentials and now he's the manager of Chelsea.
We don't want to get started.
That's one of the points I was going to make. So Robbo had Premier League experience, so you already know that he knows kind of how to play in the league. And then on top of that, please don't make comparisons between left back and striker. The level of pressure and responsibility for those 2 positions is totally different. You lot must have forgot who number 9 for Liverpool's supposed to be. I'll just remind you.
I haven't.
Just remind you.
Certain man have.
Rush,
they think back of the truth.
Fowler, Owen, Torres, Suarez, Sturridge. You want me to add Pass and Daka? Come on, man. Come on, this is the thing, guys.
Certain man being conditioned, Drift. Can't help them. They've been conditioned. Certain man.
Again, this is not even to draw out. But this is a fair comment again, but I'm gonna kind of address it. So guys, I take it you all believe FSG will fork out 8 million plus on a striker then.
No.
Why? No. But again, why is there no pressure on that to happen, considering we need one? With all due respect to everyone in the comments who are disagreeing with us, and again, this is what we love about you guys. You don't just take what we say as gospel. You rebuttal what we say. You disagree with what we say. You lot aren't yes people. We love it. That's why we love you guys. I asked you guys, why are we getting tarnished for wanting an amazing striker as opposed to why are we not speaking about the fact that we're not in a position to challenge for these strikers? Why aren't we? Like, it's a genuine question to the audience. Like,
Cal, it's
why
the same
aren't we in a position?
We asked as to why we were getting slated for being upset that Klopp plays Salah and Jota in the game against Midtjylland.
Yeah.
Until everyone thought Jota was out for 3 months, and then nobody came and said, you lot had a point. They were quick to criticize us, but nobody came and said, oh, now I get your point. So when we're halfway through next season and Dak has only got 4 goals, ain't really playing that well, and we're already 10 points behind City, is anyone going to come and go, I kind of see why you were like, yeah, Daka's not the one. And if Daka plays well, we'll all stand up and go, rah, we were so wrong.
But wrong.
It's so
That's
good.
what I'm saying. I don't understand. But if we have an opinion
on
something,
we can't always move in hindsight. You have to move in what you can see is what makes sense right now. And Patson Daka is even below a level of Lautaro, Lukaku. I can go through a list of names that aren't even Haaland, Kane, and Mbappe.
Did you say Nacho? You said Nacho, fam.
But Iniacho was better than Patson Daka. Facts. I don't care what anybody says. It's a fact. Yeah. And he played for Leicester.
Raheem
What, are we
Jimenez.
on that level now? Is that the level we're looking at? Come on,
Ollie
man.
Watkins. Them man there, they got Ollie Watkins, you know. Gee!
I don't know if Ollie Watkins is better.
I'm joking. All right, let me ask you this, Cal. Serious question.
But Cal, at least he's banging out in the
Calvert-Lewin.
actual league we play in.
He's not even really banging out, to be honest.
Calvert-Lewin.
Season.
Calvert-Lewin, who's better?
Calvert-Lewin.
Him and Daka.
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin's better than
I think Calvert-Lewin's better.
Tammy Abraham.
I'll be honest, I don't really rate Tammy.
Fair enough.
I know, but he got 18 goals last season in the Premier League, bro.
Yeah, I'd probably go Patson over Tammy.
Bamford.
Patson. But Bamford needs. If you guys think we're wasteful as a team, you ain't watch Bamford play.
I'm asking a question.
Giroud. I know Giroud. But come on, Giroud's sick though. We know.
No, I'm just naming all the people that are surplus to requirements at our rivals. That's what I'm doing.
Point he was playing.
Cavani, Martial. All these men are all surplus to requirements, and these are men are better than
all right. You're not gonna hate me for saying this, yeah.
If you say that is better than Martial, Carl,
let me land. Let me land, man.
I'm actually gonna punch at the screen, you know.
Let me land. Let me land.
Nah, I've got faith. Carl's not gonna say.
Let me land, man.
I'm actually gonna punch at the screen.
Let me land.
Go on.
Martial is a better footballer, but as a striker, I think Patson Daka is a better out and out striker than Martial.
Okay, all right. Let me say this quickly. What have you seen in Patson Daka that you think that Martial can't do, in your opinion? That's what I'm asking.
Martial's goal scoring seems very, very inconsistent for me. I think he goes on purple patches as opposed to consistently scoring goals. So I think his actual goal contribution or how it looks on paper is a lot better than it actually is. In the same way, when Benteke was at Aston Villa, Benteke would go on a run for 10 games where he'd maybe score 16 goals in those 10 games. And then for another 10 games, he wouldn't score any. So it looks great. It looks great. 16 goals in 20 games looks great. But when you break it down, he's effectively gone 10 games without scoring. Because
here's the thing, Martial, and that's going to sound crazy, and maybe I'm making an excuse here. There's two things I want to say about Martial. I don't think he's a true number 9. I've always felt he's in that in between of a wing forward and a striker. I've always felt that. So sometimes I feel like false 9 and maybe even wing forward. But I'm gonna be real, Cal. Name me another Austrian team that Daka's played against.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Drift, don't give him time. Drift, don't say nothing.
No, I was going to say,
he's looking at his computer. He's looking at his computer.
Please get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
And you know what, Carl, as well? What I also want you to do is, I also want you to think about Martial playing in the Austrian league, and then I don't think there'll be any padded stats at all. Martial,
do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Yeah, you lot didn't have to do me that. That's
nah, because I'm gonna be real.
I'll be honest. You lot could have waited for the stream to end before.
I don't know another. I'm gonna be so real. Other than Salzburg, I don't know any of the other teams. I couldn't even tell you another player out of Salzburg that potentially plays for another team in the Austrian league. That's how peak it is.
I don't mean this disrespectfully at all.
But again,
in the Austrian league, is everybody an actual professional?
Oh no, I do know one. Rapid Vienna. Bam.
Yeah, because you saw it on the screen. I think yeah. Don't let Carl.
I'm asking a genuine.
LeBron, you see that? LeBron.
I'm asking a genuine question with no.
Go.
At the risk of looking stupid. Is everybody in the Austrian league a professional footballer?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. Are they? Okay. I'm being genuine. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. But there's none of the. They've got another job. They're all full-time professionals.
Yeah.
This is why I feel like we can't always think everyone's the same. And I'm going to say this again. You see, with like Haaland, yeah. Haaland, what he done at Salzburg, sensational. What he was doing in the Champions League for Salzburg, he was really put himself in the map. I just think sometimes you get these generational talents, and sometimes we think, well, if this person can do it, and this person may be doing better than them in the same league, then why isn't he better? Or why can't he be just as great? Or why doesn't he have potential? I'm not saying Daka is not a good player. I'm going to stress it again. Patson Daka is a good player. But I just feel like as Liverpool Football Club, we should be aiming for higher. There's another conversation to be had if you feel like the only striker we can realistically get is Daka. That's a different conversation. But I'm saying right now, if we are able to get the biggest targets or top targets, yeah, and it's more hope than anything, I want someone higher than Patson Daka. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because Patson Daka, if he could ever see this stream right now, brother, he would want to sign for Liverpool today. Because the love he's getting right now is actually crazy. I can't even front. But big up you, man, that rate him. I'm not even going to front. Because if you lot believe in a player, that's fair play to you lot. Because I respect everyone in the chat. All jokes aside, I respect all of you lot. And
before we move on, do you know what does confuse me quite a lot? I remember people trying to rebuttal my joy when we bought Mane. But all of a sudden, I'm hearing all this Daka love. Bruv, I had so many people I had to convince Mane was a good signing. Like, I remember feeling like I had the weight of Mane on my back of like...
That's mad. When we signed him...
To come around to the idea.
Unfortunately, you're around the wrong people at the time, then, Drew.
When we signed him, I thought he was good, but I wasn't too sure whether he would be world class. I just said, "Oh, it's a good signing, but could we?"
No, I'm not even talking about you, bro.
I'm just saying in general. But I'm just saying in general, when we signed Mane, that's a good signing, but could we got better? That we spent this amount of money. But again, like it is what it is. It is what it is.
Let me help the rest of the super chats. MF says, remember when VVD made that dumb mistake against Arsenal last season? No one scolded him for it. No, that's a lie. Allison gave him a proper telling off for that. I remember that. And when he made a mistake against Leeds this season as well, Allison gave him a telling off for that as well. Joe K, I think VVD, Joel, Konate, Nat, and Davies is enough. I don't think we'll have 6 centre backs. I'm almost certain we won't. Eastwood says Patson would be a lower level Mane at the 9. Lower level meaning he isn't as strong physically and his finishing is just okay. Kind of agree with that. Mane is obviously not going on this season, but we know Mane is a level above most players, though.
Quickly, yeah. Speaking of Mane, do you remember my man at Southampton who I told you that reminds me a lot of Mane?
Gineppo,
yeah. Would you rather sign Gineppo or Daka?
Daka.
Yeah, Daka. If I'm looking for a striker, Daka.
No, I just mean as a player. Forget the position, just how much you believe that player.
Just gonna be real.
Daka, I really don't rate Gineppo.
I don't rate Gineppo. That's me being honest. I remember you said, and I watched him, but bro, I'm gonna be real. He just.
No, that's fair enough.
I think you give Gineppo a normal haircut, and I don't think any Mane comparisons would be made, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I genuinely think Gineppo is a very good player. I'm not saying he's like good enough to play for Liverpool, but I think he's very good. And I'd need Daka to go and be at a Southampton and prove it, and then I'll go, okay, yeah, he's better than Gineppo. Right now.
All right, so here's where I play devil's advocate quickly. I don't want to spend too long on this because there's a lot of super chats to get through. I've come on here and I've criticised Liverpool saying we need to be a bit more versatile with our scouting. We need to get the player at the source.
That's true.
So when we say things like he needs to go to a Southampton or he needs to go to another team and prove it first, are we kind of putting our scouts and our recruitment team in a no-win situation? Because they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. And again, this is part of our role here at Kopish. Like, we get egg on our face, innit? We make comments to the world. We say things to the world. So if we get something wrong, we're going to get pulled on it. It's the way of life.
Facts, yeah, facts.
Patson Daka could effectively go to another Premier League team and he could score 25 Premier League goals next season, and we're all sitting there thinking, raw, we really missed out on a gem. And then the following season, we look to get him, and we're like, we should just got him straight from RB Salzburg. We could have got him for 20 mil, but now he's worth 60 mil. Is there a medium? Is there a happy medium?
I'll use Matt's example earlier for why, on this occasion, I don't think we're wrong. If we already had a striker who was banging up, but we knew that in a year or so's time, we've got to start thinking about his age and that, then I would be like, I ain't got no issue with Daka. None whatsoever. But Daka has to come in and actually be the guy to lead us to a title this season. I don't think that's a good idea. I just don't.
I think that's the thing. I think, again, I stress it again. I think it's more to where we are right now and the way how our clubs run. If you was to get Patson Daka right now, you kind of know you're not getting another striker anytime soon. He's the guy that's for the present and for the future. If we want to win now, remember, Jurgen Klopp ain't going to stick around forever, people. So that's why I say when you go for Haaland and Mbappe, we are confident enough to know that these players are going to hopefully hit the ground running and they're going to be under Jurgen Klopp. Patson Daka could potentially, and again, Carol made a valid point, he could score 25, but what happens if he scores 4 and he scores 7 in the next campaign and Jurgen Klopp by that time is looking to move on? It's like, well, we wasted the couple of years that he had left and we still left with Patson Daka. He's a prospect, but he's not there yet. I want to win now. The window is now. We have to capitalize on the now. Jurgen Klopp has made it kind of clear, well, from what we can all see. He wants to stay at Liverpool, but I think, dare I say it, time is ticking, isn't it? Like, time really is. And I kind of feel like these group of players are going to move as one. So you'll start seeing one by one people, for example, Wijnaldum, they'll eventually will leave. I don't want to see Jurgen Klopp for his last 2 or 3 seasons, at Liverpool, where he just wasn't given the tools to succeed. I felt,
that leaves me nice because again, I see some people saying he's only worth 17 to 20 mil. That's a steal. I'll be honest, it's a steal if you've got money to waste. We're not in a position, like literally every bit of business we do in the summer has to work. Like we've already established the way our recruitment's set up, we have no room for error. Man City can go and get Daka tomorrow, it doesn't work, and they can go and replace him in 6 months' time, years' time. We can't. We still got many people in the books. We can't replace him.
They'll show Ake for 20 mil and have a 20 million loss, and they won't even care.
So that's what I'm saying. So you see, when we say things like it's a steal at 17 mil, on the surface it is. For most teams, it is. For us, it's not. Because the way our recruitment is set up, I sound like Kevin Hart, the way the recruitment is set up, but the way we're set up as a team in terms of how we recruit players, we can't afford to make mistakes. We just can't. Because we've seen what mistakes cause us.
I'll give everyone a good example of what we're trying to say. We all rate Curtis Jones. Well, I hope we all do. People, don't let me down now.
Everyone does. I think everyone does.
But if the board told us that Genie leaving just meant Curtis gets promoted higher up in the ranks, we'd all lose our shit. Hold on. What? We're losing a high rank, in my opinion, world-class midfielder, and all you're doing is just giving a little bit extra responsibility to a youth player. We'd all kick off. But if we heard all of a sudden through the grapevine, Owa is the one who we're going for, we'd all be like, as much as I'm pissed off Genie's going, all right, Hassan Owa, I see the logic. I see where you're going with this, Liverpool. You're keeping the levels and you're thinking about progression. It's the same thing with the whole Daka argument. We're not saying Curtis Jones is crap. We love Curtis Jones. But if he was the replacement for Genie in terms of first 11, we would not be all right with that. We'd be like, no, you lose Genie. You've got to go and get an adequate baller to replace him. It's what we're saying about if we're going to go and buy a striker now. If you're saying Divock Origi, and you don't know how much I love Origi, but I'll be real. If you said Origi's going Wolves for 20 mil and we're buying Daka for 20 mil to replace Origi, fair enough. I'll be like, all right, I get the logic behind that. But if you told me that we're selling Firmino and we're buying Daka to be the striker, I'm rioting. I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm not hearing that. Me personally, I do not get the logic in what you're doing. I don't get the logic in what you're doing, because to me, you're going backwards. You're not going forwards. And we need to be always moving forward. Always. We're Liverpool. Everything needs to be about moving forward. So I hope that little analogy there can just give you lot an idea of what we're trying to get at. I use Curtis Jones because you lot know how much we rate him, especially me. Yeah. But I'm still not having it if you told me, oh yeah, Jones just becomes starting lineup every game. But we lost Genie. No, that ain't good enough. That's not good enough. And I don't really get the whole Daka leading line trying to win the Premier League and the Champions League argument. I don't get it. Back up, I get it. Leading guy, nah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Fair enough. Ty said it is personnel. When Gomez played along Henderson, he scored him the entire game. Very true. Jammer says City replaced Company with Eric Garcia last season, and straight away.
And Garcia's not signed a new deal, going to Barcelona. So really and truly, if you deep it, quick maths, that says to you Ruben Diaz is actually the replacement for Vincent Company. Did I start?
Eric Garcia was never the replacement for Company.
He was never, bro. He was just there. He's been there for time, bro. Eric Garcia's been there. Everyone's acting like they just bought it.
Yeah, he's been there for a while. Dinesh says, I remember in a League Cup game, Gomez was shouted at by Klopp, telling him to help Reece Williams, so he is not a leader. I don't know if that's Klopp saying to help Reece Williams in terms of talking to him, more case of covering for him potentially. So I don't know. Again, I'm just guessing there. I don't know. The speaker says we're sleeping on Nat Phillips' leadership. Not going to lie. We all know now Dini is supreme. That's why I don't even speak about him anymore. It's like water's wet. Nat Phillips is the man. Like it is what it is.
No, facts, bro. Facts.
Nat Phillips,
bro.
You know,
Nat Phillips is our Francis Ngannou. If you know, you know, innit? Like it is what it is.
Let's not talk about that, brother. Because someone got smoked.
Jamie Phillips, shout out to Jamie. Kabak and Konate for 58 mil is good business. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. To get two very good.
I'm gonna out him, you know.
Do you think we can get Matip to quickly holler at Ngannou and see if he can come and play for it?
That'd be unfair. Nat and Ngannou is centre back. It's unfair, isn't it? It's unfair. 1975 Jamrock. Lewandowski scored 18 goals at Lech Poznan. Went to Dortmund next season, scored 8, then 20 the next season. You guys will be proven wrong on this. All right, 1975 Jamrock. Again, I'm going to put context to what you're saying here.
Not everyone is Lewandowski.
When they signed Lewandowski, they already had other strikers at the club, and they weren't expected to win the league.
Thank you. And not even that.
So let me ask you guys this question now. If we sign Patson Daka this summer to be our leading goal scorer and our leading striker, and he scores 8 goals at the end of the season, are you guys going to be happy and satisfied with that? Leave it, Matt. Leave it, Matt. Leave it. I'm gonna
you know, I want to bring him up. I want to bring him up because I want to.
And you want to know what? Yeah, the reason why that question is kind of loaded as well is it's almost like insinuating Daka's got the potential to be arguably the best striker of his generation.
Bro, this is my because this is what I was going to say.
Even though you didn't know it at the time, Lewandowski's gone on to be arguably the best striker of his generation. So we're saying that Patson Daka is in the bracket where we've got to consider we might have a Lewandowski on our hands.
No.
Think that about every footballer.
But this is what I'm saying. No. But the argument is there. He's trying to say, Lewandowski. He's like, look what he done at his previous club before he got bought for Dortmund. I'm looking like this. Yes, that's fair play. But as Cal said it best, what were Dortmund doing when they bought Lewandowski? Lewandowski wasn't brought in to be the savior. Lewandowski wasn't brought in to be the guy to take them to the next level. Lewandowski was brought in because he was a talent and they wanted to see what he could do. And look what he's done. That's what it is. With Liverpool, we're not at the Brendan Rodgers era where Suarez left and we kind of wanted to buy players, and when we bought Divock Origi and see where we were at. We know where we're at right now. We know the level that we can attract if we really wanted to get those players. So how I look at it is like this. If you want to take Liverpool to the next level, You want someone to be clear of Firmino, for argument's sake, and clear of Divock Origi. In my opinion, you don't get Patson Daka. And for those people that want to sit there and say, again, like, you know, Patson Daka's done it the same league as Haaland. They're not always, you can't always make the same comparison. Haaland, from what it looks like so far, could potentially be a generational talent. Just because Patson Daka's doing well in the same league, why do people automatically assume that he's going to do exactly the same thing as Erling Haaland? That's not always the case. It can be the case. It can be. But let's be real, people. Generational talents are very few and far between. Because if they weren't generational talents, we'll be speaking about them like they're normal players. There's a reason why they're generational people. They come every now and again. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I will happily be wrong if Daka bangs 40 goals and becomes a sensation. But when we actually do sign him, because he's probably the only striker we'll actually get, I want to see how much joy there is from the fan base. Because everyone's gassing him now. Wait till you see Haaland at City or Kane at City, Haaland at Chelsea, Man United go get Sancho or do some madness, and we get Patson Daka. Watch the fan base. Just wait for it. Because it's all fun and games now. Wait till reality kicks in.
Yeah.
Wait till the reality kicks in.
I don't think that's the issue though, because you look again. Fans
it is the issue.
No, it's not. It's not truth, and this is why I say that's not an issue for me, because when we signed Jota in the summer and Chelsea fans signed Werner, they were over the moon, and we weren't as happy with Jota as they were with Werner. But we all sitting here saying, then right now, none of us would swap Werner for Jota, would we?
That's different though, because Jota.
No. But that's why I'm saying. So you can't. It can't. What I'm saying to what you just said, Drift, is we can't sit here and say just because they may get bigger names that we can't celebrate Daka. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is.
He's not.
No, I'm saying they won't celebrate, Cal. You're missing my point. When Sky Sports News says breaking, Man City agreed deal with Kane. Haaland transfer
goes Chelsea, just for argument's sake.
And then it says breaking at the bottom, Liverpool to sign Patson Daka for 22 million. Ain't no one gassing it. I'm telling you, bruv. Ain't no one gassing it. Sancho and Man United agree £100 million deal. Ain't no one gassing Patson Daka.
Do you know what it is, Cal? It's not the fact of, again, Patson Daka's a bad player, but let's say for argument's sake, Haaland goes Chelsea and Mbappe goes City. Just for argument's sake, yeah, we get Patson Daka. Our fan base will have to convince ourselves that we've got the player with the most potential. We've got the player, because I'm telling you, you can't sit there and say, nah, he's the guy, because I would look at any Liverpool fan and be like, what are you on? Like, you've got Haaland and Mbappe, and we're going to sit here as fans and say, oh, but we got Patson Daka, though. Like, look what he's done in the Austrian League. If Haaland could do that, well, look at Patson Daka. I'm sorry, that's that. Let's be real. We would have to be convincing ourselves that we've got the better deal. Let's be real. And I don't want to be in that category. I don't want to be in that category. I want the real talk, bro. I want the now. I'm sick and tired of man talking about future and future prospects and all that, bro. I want the now. Simple as.
Why John says, did you see Musiliavski's interview? The boy is hungry. He is. I just don't want us to fast track it before he needs to be playing in the first team. If he's ready, he's ready. If he's not, then I don't want to just
Imagine if they sign Haaland and Mbappe, we sign Daka. No, the fan base. You lot are, I love you lot. All you know I love you lot, yeah, but I'm gonna be real. If they sign Haaland and Mbappe, and you know when I say who, and we sign Daka, now we're moving different out here. Do you know what we're moving at? We're moving like, trying to think. We're moving like Rousey or something. Like we still think we had it. Like we still think we were the person. Look what happened when Rousey met my girl and she got bodied. Oh my! Can you imagine that? Oh, please.
1975 Jamrock says it's not insinuating that. Don't tell me what I'm saying, Drew. You are discounting the fact that that Daka would be playing with better talent at Liverpool. Okay, I'm gonna jump in.
No, what did Jamrock say the first time round? I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was along the lines of the Lewandowski.
I can't remember still.
It was along the lines of the Lewandowski thing. I was going to say, I don't think he's insinuating that he's going to be a world-class or generational talent. I think he's saying that you can't necessarily judge him on the numbers now until he makes a step up. What I will say to that, though, is...
I still believe it's an unfair comparison.
No, but he's not comparing Lewandowski to Daka and saying Daka's going to hit that level. He's saying Daka right now is in the position that Lewandowski is in. We've seen how Lewandowski's gone. So he could go in that direction. But yes, we are saying it could also go in a different direction. He's not trying to say that Lewandowski, he's going to be the next Lewandowski.
Yeah, fair enough. But at the same time, we could say that about everybody.
No, I would know that. But he's saying he's drawing on comparisons through stats, which I don't think is the worst thing to do. That's all I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just saying we could do that with everybody, though. Like, we could literally do that with anybody.
What I will say to that is Minamino's played with better players as well, and he's not shown it. Other players have come in and played with better players, and they've not shown it. So again, the notion that he's going to improve just because he's around better players doesn't always happen as well. We've seen it. So it is, you know
what, just one thing, that, because I've seen a lot of people having a go at Matt saying, you're putting Daka down, but how much Austrian football do you watch, Matt? I'll be honest with you. I find it very hard to believe anybody who lives in England, especially, watches much Austrian football. Like, it's very easy to point the finger at Matt and go, oh, Matt, how much Austrian football do you watch? Let's be honest. Who watches Austrian football in England, really? I know we have fans that watch from around the world, but in England, we don't even have access to the Austrian league. So I don't know what English people are watching Austrian football, but I feel like a lot of people find it very easy to say, oh, you don't do this, you don't do this. How do you? Every week, you watch Goldberg. I mean, come on.
And to that as well, to what you just said, yeah, the only time I saw Erling Haaland, yeah, was when man was playing in the Champions League. Remember that, yeah? He played in the Champions League, and he also played against us. So you got to see a little bit of what he's about, yeah? So that's that. I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to leave it here, because it's the last thing I'll say about Patson Daka, because his fan base is mad in his chat. I can't even front. His fan base is wild. But I'm going to leave it here. Name me a top club in any of the... In fact, let me just say it like this. Would Barcelona go for Patson Daka? Would Real Madrid? Would Man City? Would Chelsea? Would maybe PSG? Man United? I just can't see a top club. Juventus, yeah. Would those clubs there go for Patson Daka if he was going to be your first? No, if he was your first choice striker. Because we're not talking about Patson Daka as some supplementary piece, you know. Because these people in the chat are saying Patson Daka's so sick. Remember, he's banging goals in that, so he should be first choice. There should be no debate. Because some people are saying Patson Daka is a baller. Matt, you don't know. Fair enough if I don't know about Patson Daka. But let me ask you like this. Would our rivals be going for Patson Daka?
Too easily for me.
Would our rivals be going for Patson Daka? Would they? No, not at all.
They probably wouldn't. I think we all know the answer.
Come on, man. Let's move on from this Daka thing. It's getting long. It's just long. It's long, bro.
Get through the rest of the super chats. Spare me a moment, guys.
By the way, I don't think it's disrespectful to say Daka's not good enough for Liverpool, because Liverpool is the elite. To say a player's not elite is not being disrespectful. Not many players.
I think we're starting to buy it on comments a bit too much
now. I even have a bit on them, but
no. Yeah. But people need to have an understanding. When you're at an elite level and you want an elite player, because elite is a very, 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 very high standard, you're not disrespecting the player when you say he's not good enough, you know. Some people would say Danny Ings isn't good enough to play for Liverpool. Danny Ings is a baller. It's not taken away from Danny Ings to say he's not good enough to be Liverpool's leading number 9. There's just levels to this shit. It's just real. And until you get it, that if you're a Liverpool fan, I think you've got to up what your expectation is on what your club is. If you think that players that aren't... Shea Adams is looking good at Southampton. Man can't lead no line for Liverpool, though. Like, you've got to... We're elite. We're trying to win number 7. We're trying to win number 20. We're trying to do double. We're trying to...
bro.
I'll be honest, I think there's trolls out here.
There are trolls, but I think some people do believe... Yeah, there is. Certain people believe the hype, bro. They just believe that. I'll leave it there. Let's move on from Patson Daka, because it's turned into the Patson Daka show, innit? Like, someone needs to send him this video, innit, so he can see that.
Cover the kicks and all sorts. You're right. Let's move on.
Like Patson,
Ace Industries. Would Gomez at 20 do better or equal in this mess regarding Kabak? It's a fair point. That's a very fair point.
Fair point. Although Gomez has been performing at Liverpool to a higher level since he was 19, but it is a fair point.
No, we can't say that, Drew. We actually can't say that because he hasn't been, because he's been injured a lot of those years.
No, but whenever he's played well. He has been injured a lot, but he came in at 18 and played at left back and played well. All right, he got an injury, but until the injury, he still performed well. So that's out of position in a Brendan Rodgers team that had just lost Suarez, and we were terrible that season, and he still played well at left back. So,
Jammer says Aguero leaving City. Yes, he is. Tay Sean says Ben Davies punch in the air and Gomez is better than Kabak. He is. Jeff LFC says, do you think differently of the new investment FSG made now that FFP is going to be dropped? We have to think all owners knew this was coming. That's what we're going to see in the summer. We're going to see if look, this summer we're going to see what our owners are really about at the end of the day, innit? Like there's nowhere to hide anymore. Like there's COVID has happened and every team's in that same boat. But now we see what our owners are about. There's nowhere to hide. You can't hide behind FFP, you can't hide behind this. We need to see what you're about now. Like it's literally that. I'm seeing a comment saying Callum is in two places at once. Magic. But I'd love to know how I'm doing that. If I am doing that, I'm definitely in one place. Ace Bet Limited, guys, ask yourself which striker you think Klopp wants if FSG keep giving him players he has to both develop and coach, as opposed to just coach, he'll walk. I think you'll actually see us. Oh, football terrace. Okay, cool.
That's always the worry, isn't it? It is always the worry, because even though he does love coaching, he's got so much competition. He almost can't even do what he's used to doing or what he loves doing, because it's a little bit different now. It's a little bit like a working mum or a working dad who's got like 3 kids and they've got a job. They would love to prepare a meal for an hour that has all the vitamins and nutrients that their children need, and is a great family dinner and they all sit down. But there's certain times where the mum's just got to order takeaway because she can't always come home, or he can't always come home and make dinner and cook for an hour and a half. Like, Klopp might enjoy doing it, but he ain't got the time. You heard the man. The man said football is so thick and fast now, he barely even gets them on the training ground. So where's he supposed to get the time to give these guys the love and affection and the nurturing to turn a Patson Daka into a Lewandowski? Where's he got the time to do all that? You ain't got the time for that.
This troll.
You ain't got the time
just
for that.
Ignore him, mate. Ignore him.
I would have blocked them, but I'm like, I let them carry on.
Dinesh Karai, would you take Suarez back with our front four? We've spoken about this. I don't know if your guys' opinions have changed over the weekend. For me, I don't want him back at the club.
Who's Suarez?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to be controversial.
From a personal perspective.
I don't want Suarez back. I don't want Suarez back. He's a scumbag. But I'll be honest with you. I'd be happier with Suarez for a year than Daka.
You did need to go there, Drew.
Bro,
we just finished the Daka talk.
Oh, bro, why?
Why? We just finished the Daka talk.
I'm trying to think. What video can we play for that?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I'll find one in a sec, man.
Find one. I'm trying to think, bro.
Gang and deep. Salzburg sea level.
No, Tal, you actually put that. You played that video.
Just what I'm saying. I didn't want you to see. I was gonna drop it on a random, man.
All right, don't worry.
You just opened your Christmas present early, man.
No, bro. I'm gonna be stupid.
Salzburg sea level team. Haaland shells it down in both Austrian and the Champions League. Moves to Dortmund. B level teams steps up, shelling it in Germany League and Champions League. Now ready to move to an A level team. Don't jump from C level to A level.
Boom. Gangan Deep just said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
and again, before anyone rebuttals, yes, Mahrez and Kante, they jumped up and they did it. Yes, but they're anomalies, as we've seen over the years.
Cal, sorry, they didn't. Even though Leicester went on to an historic season, Leicester was still B level. That wasn't jumping to A level. Stop it. Stop it.
No,
they just avoided, no, not you, I mean the people. They just avoided relegation when they signed Mahrez. That was not jumping to A level.
Kante was
perspective, guys. Come on. Kante and Mahrez went to Leicester with no expectation, no pressure, nothing. Come on, man. Come on.
Nutuku says Robbo out the basement. Are you starting him against Arsenal? Would you take Kun as a backup next season? Robbo out the basement. Robbo's never been in.
Robert.
Oh,
it's about Bobby, I'm guessing.
Would I play? No. I'm not gonna lie. Robert's got to sit on the bench with Jota.
He's got to start on the bench. Yeah, he's got to start on the bench for this game against.
Jota's got to start though. Jota got to start.
You see Jota moving in the Portugal. Hey, Jota
2 goals, isn't it? 2 goals, bro. 2-headed goals.
Although Robert loves him some Arsenal, though. We have to be honest.
Yeah, but so does Salah and Mane.
Yeah, so play all 3 and then get a goal each.
Nah, Jota can start. Jota deserves to start.
No, he does. Yeah. I'm just saying, Robert does love him some Arsenal. We have to be honest. I think he's got 7 goals past him. Kun Aguero, would you guys take him for a year? For me, it's a no. I know he is a bit washed up, but moving the way we move, like say if you said to me, we're gonna get Aouar to replace Genie, we're gonna get Kabak on a permanent, and we're going to sign Konate. And we're going to get either Neto, Sancho, or Rafinha. And then because money's ran out, we're going to get Aguero for free. I'd bite your hand off.
I'd have to see. Ask me again in the summer.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
If
you get all them people there.
Konate, Kabak, Rafinha, Aouar, and Aguero for a year.
Oh no, I would then, because I know that Liverpool ain't got no funds. Bro. If Liverpool got no funds, then I'll take Aguero. But Aguero, in my opinion, shouldn't be again like, right now Liverpool have money and the striker you're straight away going for is Aguero. I would say no. But if he's what you end up with at the end, a bit like Thiago Silva, which maybe we should have done instead of Chelsea, in hindsight, then that's very different. Very, very different. All right, there is some punks up in this chat.
Adam LFC says Jonathan, David, Marlon, Patson Daka, all decent strikers, but we should be going for top boys. I agree. That's all it is. Mr. Hare's my rebuttal says Neto, Konate, Kabak, get Haaland next summer. Look, it sounds brilliant getting Haaland next summer. Haaland's not staying at Dortmund past this summer. There's no.
If they really want 180, there is a possibility he might, because clubs might realize it's better to wait. If Dortmund do what they did with Sancho, I think there is a possibility he could stay.
Okay, but I'm going to ask you, Drift, how many teams were actually in for Sancho last summer? Realistically,
no, but I don't necessarily think it's about who wanted him. I think it's about Dortmund being quite good at business and not letting you buy them off. And if they want 150 or 180 and nobody pays it, I think they'll keep him for another season.
But they're just saying that because they don't want to lose him for cheap, bro. Think about it.
You could be right. You could be
right.
Teams like Man City,
teams like Man City, Chelsea, they're not going to want to go into wars with other teams next season when his release clause is there for everyone to fight over. They'll grab him now. There's no point in them doing
You're trying to get him now.
I get what you mean, but I still think if Dortmund really do want 150, you can't count out clubs thinking that's a bit much. You can't count it out.
We'll see. I reckon someone grabs him this summer. Jay Finn, Suarez made me support a racist for a year, guys. I felt bad knowing I did it back then. Being a black person, there's no way I want it back at the club. Facts.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, it's just not even just the racism either. The guys
There's something wrong with man. I'll be real. There's something wrong with man.
He's just an idiot, man. Like,
man, wake up
he's
in the morning.
Idiot.
Man, wake up in the morning and thinking about I want to yam some arm.
He's just an idiot, man. On the football pitch, he's actually an idiot.
Man's not thinking about burger, chicken. Man's thinking about flesh. Like, your mentality different out here, bro. I'm gonna be real.
A-Spec says, I'm starting to see a trend with our fan base. It's like FSG have conditioned people to think we're not elite. Guys uphold the highest standards.
All right, A-Spec, best comment of the day to all the haters in the chat. I ain't gonna mention your name because your name's ain't even worth it. I ain't gonna lie. But that's to all you man there in the chat. You know who you are. Take some of that. Let me just.
There's definitely a Daka kind of loving based on people knowing that's the type of player we've got to look at rather than anything else. And again, no Daka back him. He's a good player. He's just not good enough. Not now, anyway.
Not right now.
Jay Barra said, thoughts on the links to Marlon from PSV? Don't know much of Marlon, if I'm going to be honest. But again, it's the whole I want a ready-made right now. That's all it is. And Tuku again says, Bobby out of the basement. Are you starting him against us? So we just answered that one.
Yeah.
Aguero over Daka as backup for next season. Edwards can pull this one. We'll see. I personally don't want Aguero. I don't think.
Would you take Aguero over Daka? That's what I think the person's asking you though. Would you take Aguero over Daka, or would you take Daka over Aguero?
This is where it's tough because for me right now, Aguero's body's giving up on him.
I do.
Better. Like he's better. Like there's no comparing Daka and Aguero in terms of who's a better striker. Like one is clear the other.
I do get that. The Aguero debate with the injuries is a massive.
Yeah,
of course. I agree. No, I agree. But
I'll use the yardstick I always use. Second leg semi-final Champions League away at Juventus. Aguero up front or Daka up front? That's the yardstick, people. That's the yardstick. And even though he's injury prone, 32 ain't exactly over the hill. If Aguero was like 34, 35, I'd be like, no. 32 ain't exactly over the hill.
Yeah.
So,
Flintoff says, "No, my head is spinning. I thought Football Terrace was live. I was thinking, how's Callum live on this, and Kopish in two different shirts? No, Football Terrace one is not live. That is pre-recorded. I'm definitely only in one place. I've not mastered the art of being in two places at once yet, but as soon as I do, you guys will know." Edward says, "What if Klopp wants Daka? I trust Jurgen." Look, if Klopp wants Daka, then I'm not going to argue, innit? As a fan, I should be allowed to want what I want as well. In the same way, you guys want certain players and you like certain players. As fans, we do as well. Like,
but Cal, here's the other question you have to ask, and this is not me being disrespectful, because possibly Klopp could want that guy. But there's a difference between Klopp wanting Daka because it's all he can get, or Klopp wanting Daka because he wants Daka. Do you get what I mean? Because it's like if I told you could go Christmas shopping in M&S or you could go Christmas shopping in Tesco, I'd be very surprised if you picked Tesco. But if I say we've only got £20, you'll be like, yeah, Tesco's good enough. Come, let's go Tesco. Do you get what I mean? There's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference.
And I think this scoop says it. No, it wasn't. It was Sean. Sorry, it says it perfect. It says, "Why would Klopp want Daka if he's offered Mbappe?"
That's basically what I was just saying. Yeah. But in a more radical way.
Yeah. Kadir says, confirmed Aguero is leaving at the end of the season. He's in there. Big up yourself, Kadir, as always. Tahir, get Lewandowski. Don't see Lewandowski leaving anytime soon. But I'd take Lewandowski in a heartbeat.
Hundreds.
Eric D22B says, FSG say we're Liverpool family. Well, Klopp has stepped up. The team has stepped up. Damn, even Edwards stepped up. If FSG truly want to be part of this family, it's their time to step up. with the rainy day money, as Matt put it. Facts upon facts there. Aldrin says, I get Darwin Núñez as a backup, but a top striker also. Is Darwin Núñez? I've never heard of that name.
Might even know that is, bro.
Asen says City and Chelsea only need one spot added. We need 5 in relation to us speaking about those players. Chelsea need more than one position filled, in my opinion.
Yeah, they need a centre back, a goalkeeper, a striker. They need more if they want to be like all conquering.
Yeah. Jay Finn, I'm not saying LFC don't deserve the best players, guys. I just don't like putting down young players like they can't do great things. Again, I don't think we were putting Daka down. Again, maybe I'll have to watch it back. But
that's the reason why me and Matt especially kept on reiterating. No disrespect to Daka.
Yeah.
He's just not Liverpool level.
Agreed.
Like you see, like a Dortmund, I think that's where he's got to go now and prove himself. Or to a Bayer Leverkusen, or to a Red Bull, what do you call it?
Leipzig, whatever it is.
Leipzig. Or like he's got to
Leipzig.
now go. Like that perfect was it Gangan Deep that did that? He was at the C level, then he went B, now he's ready for the A. And that's what I think he's got to do. He can't, I mean, maybe I am being disrespectful. Everton, like go and prove it at a club where there isn't the pressure to be all conquering. Do you get what I mean? Like
that wasn't me pressed out by the play people. That weren't me. Where you come from. Dado one, thank you all for your hard work, brothers. Enough love. Thank you guys. Much love to you guys. Make sure you smash the like button, people. We've got over 900 of you in here. So obviously, people who don't like the stream, you're not going to like it. But if you have liked the stream,
I was not going to mention you, man. Come on. I already said you, man. I've got but Martinelli. I'd probably take him over Daka.
Yeah. Tahir says
that's all I'm trying to do is just beat facts, bruv. No disrespect, just
what we're saying. Greenwood.
Bruv, I'd take Greenwood over Daka, bruv. I would.
Tahir says we are the biggest club in England, most decorated club in the whole of England, but our transfer policy, we act like we are small instead of big. Yeah. Ashish says 1 Mbappe, 2 Haaland, 3 Kane, 4 Andre Silva. 23 goals, 3 assists in 26, 1 less than Haaland in the league at 25 years old. Portugal linked with Jota, please sign 1. Gang and Deep again, very simple. With success rises expectations of fans for the club to push on further greatness, especially for a juggernaut like LFC who have had a history of dominance across multiple decades. We need the best in class. Gang and Deep. You know what, Gang and Deep, take my place on the show, man. Special stuff you're saying. Troy M. Bob Kraft, owner of the Patriots, who wanted us before Hicks and Gillette sold to FSG, said about spending 175 mil this year to improve the team. We are not in the business. We are not in the business to be in business. We are in the business to win. I mean, that's some good characteristics to have from your owners. Marcus says, I don't think we'll be moving for tier 1 strikers. I've seen quite a lot of Isaac this season, and for me, he's developing into a top striker. I rate him. Alexander Isaac is good as well. Eastwood says, Patson is riding the Haaland hype and no deal for me. Andre says, would rather Salah at 9 and sign another attacker. And Promo said, would you take Aguero over Daka even with the injury? So we've discussed that one. I don't know. I genuinely don't know that one. Boy, it's been a tasty episode. What else we got to discuss? Give it another 10 minutes. Say again?
New kit.
Yeah. Do you know what? Can we bring them up on screen? I don't know.
Let me see if I can find them. the way, while we're doing that, guys, what's your thoughts on the new kits? People in the comments, which is your favorite out of the three?
I don't want to speak because when I speak my mind, I seem to be a hater.
Do you know what? I quite like the yellow kit, you know. The yellow kit, yellow one's decent. Listen, I'm gonna be real though. In terms of like, what can I say? Imagination, they are lacking. Let's be real. It's just a night tick, standard chart, and it's basic in it. But I think when you see it with the players, it might look that a little bit better. But I'm gonna be real. Yeah, the imagination ain't there. And I don't think it's going to be there from Nike. I hate to say it, but it's just not.
Yeah, I'm going to be real with you.
Let's look at it like this.
I don't know, man.
Shall I tell you the absolute issue? Sorry, Carly, send me your super chat again because it didn't come through to us. So just write.
That's what it is, man.
If there weren't people out there making concept kits, they'd probably be all right, these kits. But when I'm seeing designers who are probably just sitting at home like us, making better kits than Nike, I've got to question something. And that's as real as it is. Like, if I'm sitting at home and every day I see a new concept kit and I think, wow, that's beautiful. But then I see the kits that Nike are about to release and I think, this is Nike doing this. I'd be like, something ain't quite adding up here because it kind of just seems as though you're just creating a kit, putting a tick on it, putting our badge on it, and knowing it's going to sell just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Dinesh says, I like the red kit, but will not spend another £90. Prices, we're not going to speak about prices.
But Cal, we have to for a little while because here's what I want to say. I don't want to start seeming like I'm bashing Nike because when it comes to my own wear, I love Nike. But when it comes to the football thing, yeah, take away the kit that we have just for a second and think about the fact that that stadium kit is not nice, yeah. And then, like quality-wise, you know what I mean? Like we've seen both kits. The stadium kit, quality-wise, is not nice, yeah. You have to buy the £100 Vapor kit to be happy with the home shirt, yeah, £100. Then you look at the away kit. I'm sorry. The third kit, one of the best kits we've ever had. I'm in love with that kit. So I give Nike some credit for that. I love that kit. You lot know how I feel about that kit. But that's not a good start to life as a Liverpool sponsor, yeah? A bad version of the home kit that is the one most people can afford and a not nice away kit, yeah? And then on top of that, now we're seeing these new concept kits and we're seeing how plain and boring they are. And you're thinking, are Nike resting on their laurels for just being Nike? Because I'm sorry, New Balance might not be a big name, but they're a fucking hard act to follow. And I congratulate New Balance on their kits. Because I'll tell you this, for about 4 of the 6 years or 5 years they're our sponsor, their kits were beautiful. They were beautiful. I even liked the purple and the orange kit, yeah? New Balance were on smash when it came to kits. And let me tell you, all the kits that we won something in with them were amazing. Or even when we got to the Champions League final in 18-19, but we didn't win. No, 17-18. That kit was beautiful. It's one of the nicest kits we've ever had. The kit we won the Champions League in, beautiful. But here's the thing. They were simple, but designed well. We're not asking you to move heaven on earth, but like the kit, just come on, Nike, man. You can't be outdone by New Balance. You can't be outdone by New Balance, man.
They can be, and they have been.
And
they have
been.
And
what's going on? Look at the black New Balance kit. No, not the black one. The dark gunmetal grey. That's beautiful. The one that Matt's got, that New Balance kit was beautiful, bro. Like, New Balance barely got it wrong, you know? If we really think about it, only their first season was kind of boring. After that, man, New Balance hit the nail on the head with the kits. Nike have got a lot to live up to. They do, man. and they're supposed to be the best to do it.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. Bare copy and paste from that. Bare copy and paste.
Yeah, it is.
I can't be front. It's a copy and paste thing.
Dado one says merchandise. Come on, bros. We want to hype up Kop-Ish. TikTok. That's all I'll say. TikTok. Soon come. You
know what? I've got a better idea because I don't want it to seem like we're all saying the same things. We are now testing the product to make sure it's good enough before we give it to you. Just so you know, it's real.
Products, plural.
Yeah, the products. Because we don't want to give you lot of stuff that's
we there, yo.
So it's not talk is cheap. We're testing the product now to make sure it's good enough to roll out. So just have a little bit more patience, people. And you know what I mean? And I personally think when you see one of our kits, you're going to be like, right, Kopish are moving better than that. That's all
when you see some of our designs, you man are going to be impressed. That's all I'm going to say. Just saying. Oi! I'll see one of the comments.
Eastwood says, Nike's letting us down in creativity. They need better designers. Jay Finn says, that's why I didn't want Nike because all they do is copy and paste. New Balance were doing really well. A-Spec says, can you do a show on FFP? I feel worried going forward. Man City, Everton, Man United, Chelsea, Leicester, Aston Villa all have richer owners than us. We will do one only if it becomes like actually happens. When it actually
official. Yeah. When it gets ratified and they say FFP's done.
Yeah.
Then the video. But to be fair, people, do you want a video or do you just want us to come on the show and give our reaction? Because you know the reaction would just be like, well, we ain't got no money. We never had no money. So business as usual, right?
Yeah. Promo, New Balance is that girl who was average but her palace personality made her attractive. Nike is that boom ting with the personality of a Sean Dyche. Promo, that's a bit harsh, but bring my name into this, isn't it? I've been nothing but solid to you people in the comments, and now you want to just disrespect me like that. My wife will tell you I've got a smashing personality. Smashing. My players love me, and you want to come here and disrespect me, do ya? Fine. Have it your way. Have it your bloody way. Latuku says, New Balance put Nike on a hot plate. Man, their designs are flat out lazy and filthy expensive. Yellow jersey flirting with my wallet, man. We'll have to see. I'll wait till I see the kits in person until they fully get released. Guys, a couple of you in the comments are a bit annoyed. I'll be honest, guys. You can't dish it out, and then when it comes back to you, you don't like it. Like,
but here's the joke.
Again, hold on, man. Again, I get it. We're on a forum here, so we open ourselves up for criticism, etc. But guys, you can't just constantly get at someone and expect them not to be frustrated with what you're saying and doing. Like, if you're all I say in life, whatever you do in life, if you're willing to dish it out, and you have to be prepared to take it as well.
Just a disclaimer for certain people out there. Just to let you guys know, we have admins in the chat. Just to let you know, we have admins in the chat. Certain people are saying, Matt's done this. I haven't done anything.
We have mods and admins in the chat. So if you're annoying the mods and you're annoying the admins,
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe you should look at how you're commenting.
Look up maybe what you're saying. Don't look at me, you know. I haven't done nothing. Man's talking.
So, I'm going to be real with you. I'm the only one who physically can just block someone and make it quite quick and easy. I've not blocked anyone or timed anyone out.
No, but I haven't blocked no one. What's the need to block someone? Come on, man.
If you've annoyed the mods, then that's the situation you got to take up with the mods. Yeah. And as I said, in life, this is a general rule for life. If you're listening, if you're willing to dish it out when it comes to anything, you have to be willing to take it back.
You got to take it.
You have to be. So that's all I'm saying. Shout out to the Mitchell bros. Shout out. I think the team have told Knight not to make cookies. Direct instructions. LeBron, call up your contact at Nike and tell them to cut off the good kids. No.
You know what? Yeah, Liverpool made a good point. I feel like Nike are just making very boring, simple kits where we can't say they've ruined their brand, but they didn't need to make any effort, and then they can just keep rolling out like that every season.
They're playing it safe.
And just before we end the show, do smash the like button. Grizz, LFC Day Trippers, we saw the video, we heard what you guys said. We are going to be doing a second leg. And you know what? I can sit here, I can hype it up, I can get at you, but you know what? Someone else can do it better for me. So here goes.
You out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I should point out for the record, Stevie Ray, look at this. Take a look. We're talking about the...
Yeah, Grizz. We're coming, Grizz. Don't you worry. We're coming to take back our crown. Khalid says, Abraham, a bit odd, but would you guys be happy with JWP replacing Wijnaldum? Honest opinions, lads, because he's so underrated. No, I like James Ward-Prowse, but no, I wouldn't replace him with Wijnaldum. I do like James Ward-Prowse.
Oh man.
Yes, people, it's been a great show as always, full of debate, full of just fun and jokes. But yes, we are back tomorrow with a great show. All week we've got some great shows coming for you, so make sure you keep up with us on social media. Got a couple more super chats before we go. A-Spec, A-Spec, they should have done a yearly competition for the public to design the kits. Missing a trick, they could make it the next big thing next season. I've been saying that. I don't see why we don't. Joe again and drop the beat. Nah, Grizz got the message. Grizz and the LFC Day Trippers, they got the message. They got the message. They know where it is now. They know where it is. Grizz proper came for us. We can't have that.
Alright, cut the promo again, Carl. No, I'm not
promo again. I've lost all composure. You done
the promo again.
Oh man.
I don't know if they want the promo again. Do they want the promo again?
I think they want the promo again.
They're going to smash the like button if they want the promo again.
All right, smash that like if you want us to cut the promo again.
Guys, just quickly, because a couple people said they didn't get my take on Konate, because obviously, apologies, I missed the first 20 minutes. Did you guys touch on the whole Stevie G with regards to like what he was like injury-wise at that age and how we
touched on that?
Okay, cool.
Khalil says, move Bobby back to midfield, get Neto/Daka.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think Bobby's got to move to midfield anyway. All right, here it is, guys. You want the beat? You want it again? Here it is again. Grizz, this is for you.
You out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
I should point out for the record, Stevie Ray, look at this. Take a look. We're talking.
Well, I'd beep. I wouldn't do two in the same video.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Shout out to Richard for your super chat. Thank you very much. Grizz, we're coming for you, Grizz. Remember, I told you. You heard it here first.
We're coming for you, Grizz. Hey, Sean, we're coming for you.
The real question is, who out of us three is Sister Sherry?
Me and Matt went to the fight for the crystal. I Drift. You're mean Gene. Drift. You're mean Gene. Drift is mean Gene. You're mean Gene, Drift. There you go.
No, Drifty be Bob Heyman. My client.
You know what? To be fair, I think Sister Sherry was the biggest gangster in that clique, bruv. So, you know what I mean?
Bruv, the way she just the way she did the book is like, don't worry, we've got you. I've got your contract at home.
Oh boy. Guys, yes, do keep paying attention to us on social media. As I said, we've got great shows all week for you guys as we lead up to Liverpool versus Arsenal at the weekend. Make sure you smash the like button. Until next time, people, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we are out, people. Take care.
We move. Peace.
I'm